Wow, what an intro. And Kiko is back. Oh my God. He came back with figures. What is this? What is this? What is this blasphemy? Guys, thank you so much for joining this fine Friday evening, April the 28th of 2020. What is the year again? Is it 2022, 2023?
Year of our Lord 2023.
That's crazy, bro. 2023, man. It's been 4 years since Endgame. 4 years. And where is Marvel at now? We're going to see, because Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out, I think, next week, right? The reviews are in, guys, by the way. I don't mean to spoil too much. The reviews are in, and it's decent. Supposedly it's good, not great. Maybe a little mid, like the Batman, if Riley's watching. Maybe a little mid, like the Batman. But we got a fun show for you guys this evening, and it's going to be a lot of cool topics. We got some life from Inart. That's really exciting. We got some light from Hot Toys. Hot Toys is really not giving two shits about your wallet. They're dropping everything and anything right now. And yeah, people are pretty excited about that. A lot of cool stuff. Maybe even some video game lines that may or may not be explored. There was a little tease of that. That said, let's address our beautiful Avengers level panel before we get into addressing our chat. And of course, our first topic for the evening, Mr. Kiko Collects. How are you this fine Friday evening, sir?
I'm doing great. It seems so long ago that we were last here, right before my Weeniversary. As you know, that I went and jumped off onto a little road trip with the Weens over the weekend, went to Atlanta, into Florida, and had a great old time, because you had mentioned that it's been 4 years since Endgame. Yeah. I got married on the day Endgame came out, because that was actually our wedding invitations, whatever you want to call it, was Amy and Kevin Endgame, and so that's what it was. So I'll always remember Endgame, but it's good to be back here with you, Will.
Kiko, are you going to tell the people about your slip up with Amy, where you said nothing special about that? Because when I listened to that, bro, I was like fucking dead. I was like, no, he didn't say that.
So long story short is that Amy, her Instagram handle is @myfavoritebrunette. If you want to follow her out, you know, she posts a lot of stuff of us, the dogs, horses, whatever it may be. But either way, she's famous for her stories. That's the thing. And the one that apparently everyone really likes is when she puts this broccoli filter on, I suppose. And it's like these broccoli people, me and her, talking in a supermarket. And it's very, very odd. People really, really like that for some reason. But
it's weird, Javier.
Kevin, we're getting ready to go out on vacation. And are you excited about, doing all those things? And she's like, what are you most excited about? I'm like, well, I guess the food or whatever. She's like, you're not excited about me? I was like, well, you're always there, essentially. There's nothing special about that. And so the way it came out made it sound very, very bad. But long story short is, yes, I was very excited to be with her. We had a great time. The Weens loved it. And we're back. But yeah, always be careful with what you're saying out there, gentlemen, women, whatever it may be. When you're talking with your partner, make sure when it comes out, it makes sense, because it can be easily misinterpreted.
Yeah, well... Yeah, when I heard that story, bro, I was like, dude, it was, I texted Kiko immediately, and then I messaged back to Amy's story, and I was like, Kiko's in some trouble. I was like, because that sounds like something I would say, to be fair. Kiko you just wouldn't even think about it. You would just say it, and it just comes out, right? So, but nonetheless, the broccoli filter, I do got to say, people love I like it. It's pretty interesting. It's her style. So anyway, happy to have Mr. Kiko Collect as always. And we got a second time panelist here, Mr. Anthony Javier. Bro, how are you doing, bro? Your collection is beautiful behind you, by the way. And
Thank you.
Man, what's going on this fine Friday for you?
Thank you. No, glad to be back. Thank you for having me on here. Pleasure, just being here with you and getting to, stream with Kiko. So, really excited. I've just been, just enjoying my collection, building it, and just having fun in the community, being a mod for a place for collecting. Yeah. But yeah, no, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be back on.
Yeah, man, dude, that's going to be exciting, bro. It's going to be exciting to have you back. Like I said, you sell the best insurance. People can get the really good rates if they want to message Anthony Javier. And I'm probably the only one that calls you Javier. But at the same time, dude, maybe we can make it a running thing, bro. But
no, there's some people that call me Javier. I've had people message me asking me to, for insurance deals.
Dude, that's Carlos's fault, though, is it not?
I'm pretty sure it is Carlos's fault. Yeah. But it's definitely exciting.
So he'll spread a false, profession for you, but he won't sell Kiko the Ecto one. So that's where Carlos's moral barometer is at. So
very, very shameful. Yes.
Yeah, it is shameful. So I'll just time him out right now if I can see him. So anyway, guys, let's address the chat real quick, and we'll jump into our first topic. We got Daniel, the man himself. What is up, Daniel? Good to see you, bro. Mr. Kiko Collects. We're gonna talk about this. Finally, Yelena hater sad. Yes, we shall. Daddy Carlos is here. Hello, sons. Well, Carlos is the dad to everyone, apparently. Let's see. Frame by frame figures. I'm here for that rooted sculpt. Hey, I don't know which rooted sculpt you're talking about, but we're going to talk about it, hopefully. Hey, yo, Daddy Carlos, I know. What's up, everyone? Looking forward to next week's announcements. Dude, hopefully you mean this week's announcements, but I guess next week's would also be relevant somewhat. Xander, hey everyone. Blurred Dad Life, hopefully the force will be strong with this week. I hope it will as well. Nick's Collectibles, aloha folks. So guys, I'll give another shout out to this at the end of the show, but Nick is having a live stream this coming Sunday. It's another wrestling live stream. A lot of cool stuff going on. More on that at the end of the show. But yeah, you're going to want to check that out. It'll be this Sunday, I believe, at 8 p.m. Eastern. You're going to want to check that out live. It's going to be a Rumble. Kiko and I are going to be in a tag team match, last I checked. And Kiko, I'm not sure are we going up against Collecting Weekly? I got to look at that again.
I don't know. I think it's a triple threat tag team match. I don't think we're the Elimination Chamber match, if I understand.
Okay.
I think those 6 people are in the pods to find out who's going to fight for the what's the thing? ROW, SOW, whatever that wrestling belt is against
1-6
King
wrestling
Howard.
title.
And I think we are going legitimate for the belts. So if we can actually win, we will have some gold. So
well, hopefully we can do it, Kiko, because when you came into the ring last time, you were a unit. You were you were tall and literally on roids, bro. So yeah.
I'm really excited about it, and I'll just say this is that I feel very, very confident. I feel good. I've seen my outfit that I'm going to be wearing for the event. It's got a big message on my shirt this time. I hope people actually listen to it. So we'll see how it goes.
We're going to see. Well, thanks so much, Nick. Good to see you, bro. Safehold, there's a Yelena hater. What a shame. I'm adding myself to the list. Dude, we're going to talk about it. Rena Yam, Inart is alive. Yes, they are. Inart has shown signs of life, and we're going to talk about it. Wenwu looks dope. Iron King, dude. Wenwu does look dope. And I'm feeling the FOMO. We're going to talk about it. Anthony Javier wasn't in here when I was talking about it, I don't think, but I need to fill him in on this one. Hey, everyone, loved updates on Inart Aragorn. I pre-ordered 3 Inart Aragorns. That is some commitment, bro. That's some dedication. So happy for you, bro. Thalia Meyer, good to see you, fellow Loki fan. Thalia, hello and happy Friday. Happy Friday, Thalia. Hopefully we can bring in the weekend good and nice for you. Jose Hernandez, what's up, everyone? Sorry for being an enabler. Well, dude, Jose is the ultimate enabler, bro. I did ask for it, but I asked him to send me videos of his Carnage, Javier, because he, like Kiko, got the Carnage, but he got the Carnage from Sideshow. Kiko, I believe, got it from Pop, but Jose got it, and he got first batch Carnage basically from Sideshow, and he sent me some videos, and I was like, bro, that Carnage is so good. I was driving Carlos insane because he was like, just shut up already and buy the damn Carnage, because I kept going back and forth. And guys, I did eventually buy the Carnage because Tim Sen had a really good deal. So I bought it. So
oh, damn. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Keep in mind, last week he was saying, I'm holding out. But I told you, I said, once my reels and photos go out there, 2 weeks and you'll have it. And what do you know? Under a week.
It's true, bro. It absolutely happened. Kiko, dude, that photo, Kiko, you posted, phenomenal, bro. Like, it's so good. It's so
Just
good.
Wait till tomorrow.
You're setting the bar. Is there more?
Damn.
Oh, yeah, we always do a set of 3.
Oh, okay. Well, I got to pay more attention, I guess. Well, anyway, Collector Joey, definitely on his commute home. Good to see you, Joey. Riley reviews. Who's the handsome insurance guy at the bottom? Yeah, that's Jake, I think. Jake Javier. So
Jake Javier.
AJ Agarusa. Greetings, friends. Hope everyone is well. Good to see AJ. The guy in the middle is mid. He's probably talking about me, but I can reorder everyone if we need to. The Batman is top tier. Hey, that's Riley's friend, clearly. That's Riley's friend. Good to see you. Good for health. Hey, that's Anthony. Let's see here. I'll cry if they don't make Cal Kestis. I think they will. We're going to talk about it, though, Nick. Movie canon. The ladies' man himself, Lane Kramer. What is up, Lane Kramer? Good to see you, bro. Bendu Windu. Good to see you, bro. Channel member. Thank you so much for being a channel member, bro. Marco Polo. Calvin himself, the drawer dropper. Good to see you, Calvin. What's up, bro? Hopefully you're having a good weekend. We'll have to chat soon. Keith Lee. Happy Friday, peeps. How's Wenwu, Kiko? You could also ask me, Keith, because I actually do have the Wenwu now. And it's pretty good. But I'll talk about that more in the review. But Kiko, you like the Wenwu probably even more than I do.
I do. I think he's accessory-wise a lot better. And I told you that. The blue is just really, really cool. And I think overall, he just has a better aesthetic and silhouette than Sean. So
Shang-Chi. Yeah, makes sense. Well, we're going to talk about it. I know more in my review, but Kiko's got some amazing photos out there and a real review that you can watch, I believe. So anyway, let's see. Joker Day said, I inadvertently called my woman an old show once, just once. Yeah, you probably find yourself out of the house after a repeat offender there. Chris Santos, what is up, bro? Chris, good to see you. Ron Ongsing, hey, good to catch you live. Will watching from the Philippines. Good to see you, bro. Thank you so much for joining. Carlos said, what shit are you guys talking? Nothing, bro. Just nothing at all. Nothing at all. Caesar Delon, hey guys, always look forward to the streams. Thank you so much, Caesar. Appreciate you, bro. Nick's Collectibles versus the Wonder Twins versus Collecting Weekly and Kiko Will. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, AJ Agarusa, Will and Kiko are going to rock it. Make sure to bring the guns out, dude. Absolutely. And dude, we have a super chat from Carlos. I love to wear oversized women's sweaters. How about you guys? Do you, Anthony? Is that you, bro? Is that what you do? Is that in reference to you?
Dude, he's coming at me, man. I was FaceTiming him earlier today, and he was like, "Why are you wearing a woman's sweater?" I was like, dude, I was like, it just looks big on me, man. It's Uniqlo.
Dude, we can change. Look at this format.
This is
bro.
sick.
Yeah,
this
see,
is
like
sick.
you could do so much cool shit like that, right?
Yeah.
It zooms everyone's photo in or video. But anyway, thank you so much, Carlos. Appreciate you, bro. But Anthony doesn't wear women's sweaters. They're all, dude. By the way, before we get to our first topic, by the way, and guys, sorry, there's a couple more chats here, but yeah, I'm gonna jump to the first topic in a second. Carlos told me Old Navy sucks. I don't know if I agree. I feel like Old Navy's pretty good. Do you not like it, Kiko?
It's been a long time. I remember when, because Old Navy's been around for a minute. I feel like it was elite when I was getting bubble coats from them in like the 6th and 7th grade. And that's where my mom always took me. But I think it's more for younger kids. I don't know if adults shop there much anymore. But the deals you can't pass up on.
And it's pretty. What do you think, Anthony Javier? Is Old Navy mid?
Okay, I used to rock it like back when I was like in elementary school. I won't lie. Like,
see, because
like
kids
elementary, middle school, something around there. I haven't really shopped there since like before high school, and then into college. After college, nothing. So I don't want to say it's mid, but I'm not going for it right now.
Okay. Well, hey, I use it every now and then, so I'll wear.
Hey, dude, you're rocking it.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So, guys, let's not bury the lead here. Let's talk about something exciting. Inart is alive. They have shown a pulse, and that's really exciting. They have been shipping Jokers. Kiko has his Joker now, which, thank the Lord. Nick is going to have his Joker soon, which I am so excited about because he's been crying himself to sleep every single night, apparently. And Kiko, I'm so glad, while not crying himself to sleep, has been very distraught over his lack of Joker in his life. And I'm so glad that he now has it in hand. That said, we got a bunch of updates from Inart that I think are pretty exciting that I do want to share. So I'm going to have to zoom in for a little bit, but there's a lot to kind of go through here. So they talked about a Chinese Odyssey figure, right? Which that was not on the Phase 1 list at all originally, right? That was not something that was noted. When I interviewed John from Inart Queen Studios, I think it was maybe like a month or so back now, he didn't even know about this figure. I asked him and I was like, what's going on with this figure? And he was like, I don't even really know. So it's that much of a surprise for even the people who work there, apparently. So that's pretty interesting. The Harry Potter, and they call it the Philosopher's Stone, which I believe in the States is the Sorcerer's Stone, but it just varies depending on your geographic location. So that's going up for pre-order soon. We'll talk about the Aragorn in a second. They already showed, they're giving production updates on Pennywise and Gandalf. Those seem to be doing pretty well. I would assume Pennywise is probably coming next. He seems to be the furthest along from what they've described here. They've already said that they're going through the final process of getting the outfits almost done. And now they're going through the rooted hair to finish things off. The Batman, they've said, is a complicated figure. So that one, I would prepare for that one to take some time. And of course, we have Gandalf, of course, that they've said should be coming hopefully sometime in the near future. So yeah, I'm really excited about all this. Guys, what do you think about these updates? Are we okay waiting for quality? Because clearly they're communicating there's going to be some delays with Gandalf and Pennywise and maybe even the Batman. But I'm assuming we're going to see all of them before the end of the year, I would think. Kiko, I want to start with you on this one. What do you think? Are we okay waiting for quality? Because you did it with the Joker. Are you happy with what you got?
Great question, Will. I think you're very, very ambitious thinking you're going to have these in the next 6 months. That's pretty funny to me. Because keep in mind that we are already, let's say next week is May. Let's just keep that in mind. So if you think it took, a year and a half for us to get one figure, you think you're going to get more than that by the end of the year? That's pretty ambitious and bold. The thing that drives me insane is that you are saying, and it's not you, but you're very hopeful because... there was almost a Drake. There it is. 1457, guys.
1457. There it is.
Drago's here. But you are very ambitious. When you said, they're putting the suits together, they're putting the hair on. think about how long that takes. Maybe there is only
Yeah.
like 10 of them out there, and so it might be able to come a little bit quicker. But I think it's really grasping and reaching to think that you're going to have even Pennywise. I think maybe Pennywise by the end of the year. If they get out 2 figures a year, I think is probably what their speed is. I would love to know. This is the thing that I'd like to ask next time.
Yeah.
What is your production force like? How many people work there? How many people do clothing? How many people do tailoring? How many people do rooting? How many people do painting? How many people are working there to get these out so we can get a better understanding? And maybe I don't think that's private information, be able to say, well, we can't tell you how many people are working here. Because right now, it seems like there's only like 10 people working on the whole thing. And I don't know when it comes to like the numbers of order numbers, because I remember when I got my Joker from Kit, they said, all right, this number, from here to here is shipping out. Are there thousands of these Jokers out there? Tens of thousands? I have no idea, because if it's going simply by order number, there's a lot of them. And as of right now, I don't think that they can stand being able to put out lesser characters. Let's be honest, lesser characters at that pace. I just don't think it's sustainable. And they need to either ramp up the production, they need to ramp up the timing, something. Because yes, I do have the Inart Joker in my hand, in my possession now. Is it cool? Yes. Does it look really good? Yeah, it does. Is it like the end all be all of 6-scale figures? I really don't think so. I'm pleased with it. I just don't know if I'm willing to wait years for them to put out these things, especially for I have no interest in Aragorn, not really much interest in a Pennywise, zero interest in the Midman. So from there, what do we do? Inart Daenerys, let's see. But I'm probably 3 years away from getting Inart Daenerys. Let's be honest. 3 years. And I don't know, we're going to be talking about the idea of waiting and things like that a little bit later on in the show. But for me, this ain't it, man. It is not it for me. It takes too long. And the updates they gave us are very odd. And I know we can talk about the cloak and the boots and all that stuff. It's not enough for me. It just simply is not enough.
Yeah, that's understandable. So, Kiko, the way I'm kind of coming at this is there was a number thrown out there at one point saying 15,000 Jokers were being made, possibly for all of them or maybe just for the rooted. The reason I'm a little more optimistic for the other ones is because I don't think those are going to reach anywhere close to that number. I know at one point John had thrown out the idea that there might be less than 1,000 Pennywises made, right? So that's 15 times the Joker that was, right? So that's why I think those could come out a little bit sooner. I think they maybe just have been overwhelmed with the amount of volume they've had to produce with the Joker because of how popular it was. And I talked to Carlos about this. I think it would have made a lot of sense for them to say, okay, we're only going to make 5,000 Jokers, because I think they've clearly overextended themselves a little bit, and they've made a really good figure, and they've been able to maintain the quality, but at what cost time-wise? So, and I think with Pennywise,
did they maintain the quality? Think about how many people are complaining about the magnets. So many people complaining about the wonky eyes. So many people saying, "Why does my rooted hair look like he has a fro?" Things like that. Did the quality match the price? I don't know.
Have there been that many quality control issues that arose though? I mean, I've
heard of some, but nothing. I don't think nothing abnormal that may be hot. I know Hot Toys is pretty good QC, but Anthony, it's a good question. I mean, the magnets have been the biggest thing. I would say the magnets. Right. I would say are probably the biggest thing. Kiko, have you experienced any issues with your magnets?
No, they were very strong and sturdy. I don't do anything stupid with them. It seemed fine to me. I did turn it around I think it's stronger on one side, if that makes sense, the way the logo faces. And I faced it stronger, and he felt like he had a better grip with where he was. And I was fine with that. But no, I've had no issues with the magnets. Thankfully, my eyes weren't an issue at all. The only thing I would say with mine is that the rooting on the jail version, fantastic. Love that thing. But mine's got a very bushy head of hair on the purple one. And that's a shame. It looks a little amateurish, honestly, my root job. And I think that for all the production, or I'm sorry, all the little different photos we saw of the way it's supposed to be, it all comes down to the way the hair lays. And we're looking at this Aragorn right now. If we're going to get a bushy version of that, you're going to end up with, the Black Widow from Avengers eventually, if it's not taken care of the right way. And people are going to really, really lose their mind on that. You have to do, that's the thing, is that people are like, I want rooted hair. I hate this plastic hair that Hot Toys is doing. Yeah, but if you don't do it right, that's what you get. and people complain even more about that. It's interesting, man. It's going to be interesting.
It is. And my Joker's hair has been pretty good, but I want to get you in on this one, Anthony Javier. So what do you think? I mean, Inart announced a lot of delays and updates here. Do you like that they're communicating these things? Are you glad to see them alive? What do you think about all this?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely glad to see them alive. They were like dead silent since like I think the start of the year, right?
Right.
So it's always nice to hear some some progress from them, especially because we don't really get that from many companies. And I will agree with you. Some of their updates were a little weird with like we're working on the tailoring that's being worked on. We're working on this. I would have preferred for them to just be just stay silent on that. Release it when it comes out, but then the update for Aragorn, that one was nice. That's like something I think worthy of a post of like, hey, look, we've updated A, B, and C, but everything else was like, oh, okay, so you're just working on the figure. I mean, that's the way that I saw it. Very excited that they did update us though, because like I said, it's not common with other companies, but yeah, I guess a thumbs up from me personally. And again, waiting for or am I okay waiting for quality? I would say so. I mean, I'm not a big Inart fan just because of the licenses that they have. Nothing that they have has actually like attracted me. I did order the Joker because it's Heath Ledger. I kind of have to have it in my collection. But besides that, all their other licenses haven't really captivated me to be like, yes, like I need to pre-order this day one, right? So I'm okay with waiting for quality, just to make sure that, my money is having the best, bang for its buck. And honestly, like I know that they did mention that they would have like a 6-month release window, but if you have to take more time to do so, I don't really mind. I mean, I know it gets annoying waiting, Kiko, like for Wanda or, for other figures, but I'd rather them take their time and get, a good product instead of seeing, like the more recent Hot Toys releases where it's actually been like, I guess, rushed out in a way, or they could have taken a few more months to do it. I wouldn't have minded, and we could have avoided, some quality control issues like the Shang-Chi chest. We could have avoided maybe even just recently the Florence Pugh one, the head sculpt. It's these little things that if they just take a few more months, I would have no issues. And I guess the same thing can translate over to Inart. I really wouldn't mind.
So, and Anthony, to follow up with both of you guys here, are we asking for too much as collectors? Because I want to ask the question. We want a lot of different things. We want speed, we want quality. We don't want them because sometimes we get on Hot Toys. To be fair, we do get on Hot Toys and we say, they sacrifice quality to speed things up, or they took too long and then shit the bed, whatever, right? But Inart, I do get where you're coming from, Kiko. I haven't seen those QC issues as much with the hair and the eyes, maybe here and there, like once or twice, right? The magnets have been a more consistent thing that I've seen. And some people like yourself, Kiko, have had absolutely no issues with their magnets, where with me, maybe I'm just doing something wrong, but I don't trust that magnetic base at all. I'm not using it, which is unfortunate. I'm using the one with you can sit down the Joker because he's sitting down and he's fine. But I got a custom stand for my Joker, unfortunately, a crotch grabber, because I just don't trust that magnetic base. But are we asking for too much here, guys? Because I mean, Inart, I feel overall has delivered the quality with the Joker that we expected. Like you said, Kiko, you're not disappointed, right?
I'm not disappointed, but the timing cannot continue. Michelangelo, not the turtle, but the actual sculptor and Renaissance man.
I know both.
Michelangelo sculpted the statue of David out of fucking rock in 3 years. Mm-hmm. But we can't get a piece of plastic done in a couple of years themselves. See, that's my thing. You're like, well, he was just working on one of one, things.
One of one.
Think of that, though. Think of that. Like, well, they had nothing else to do down there at that time, but it was made of marble, and it's one of those amazing, immaculate pieces ever. 3 years. But yet we're sitting here waiting for a rooted Pennywise to show up 2 years. Like, well, you don't understand production. It takes a while. If we cannot get these, when you ask your question, is it worth waiting for quality? I understand you want it to be as screen accurate as possible and things like that. If you can't get it out in a certain time, I don't think it's worth it, honestly. If you were to say, hey, you can have this in 10 years and boy, it's going to be awesome. I don't care.
10 years.
Damn,
it sounds so ridiculous, I know, and I hate to be this guy and try to be grim or whatever, but things really changed for me when, like, during like the COVID times and stuff like that, is that I kind of got an appreciation of, man, live life to the fullest now, because who knows when it's going to be gone? Who knows if something Walking Dead, Last of Us occurs, and you know, everything that we know it is gone. And you know, I kind of came to that realization that I'm not waiting around for stuff. I want to enjoy life. I'm taking weeniversaries. I'm getting the things I want. And because as long as you have the responsible means to do so, obviously don't be reckless and be a fool. But if you have the means to do something, I mean, enjoy life. Don't wait around for things so much. So that's my thing, is that if you can't speed this up, I'm gonna have to be out, man, for real.
First batch, baby.
Yeah,
First batch.
Kiko,
but Anthony, what do you think?
Oh yeah, that's sorry. I just wanted to say, Kiko, that's actually like a really good point though, because you know, I was recently just planning my display, and I was very much, you know, I guess preparing for the future of, you know, what I wanted, you know, phase 4, phase 5. But then like thinking about how much time, you know, for the movie to come out, for then the figure to come out, and then well, even for it to be announced, and then for the figure to come out, I was like, I don't want to wait like 4 or 5 years for this. So then I just started planning with what's available now and
That's
enjoying
an eternity. It's so long.
Yeah, no. So you know, you do make a good point there. I guess you know, I guess for me, like I can really just wait for the quality for Inart because, I mean, there's nothing that really attracts me to all their other products, you know. So maybe that's why I'm fine with waiting because I'm not really buying them, you know. So I guess that's the issue. But when it comes to Hot Toys that I do want to get, you know, if I'm prepping up for Fantastic Four, I'd rather put another figure in its place until that movie comes out and then the announcement comes and then the figure's released. Why do I have to have a blank space there? Might as well just fill it with something I actually want now. So, I mean, I guess I do see your point there. So, no, that's good. No, I mean, I got to agree with that. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's more than fair. Yeah, because I've been doing the same thing, Javier. That document that you created, I've been using. I'll talk to you about, but it's great. The Photoshop document.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's a game changer, bro. I kind of want to share it with people, but we'll talk about it. But anyway, so yeah, guys. Hey, we're gonna see how this shakes out. Like I said, look. At the end of the day, I'm happy Inart provided us updates. One thing I will say is I don't know. I collect statues. Kiko collects statues. Anthony, I don't think you do, but I know. But there statue collectors can be picky too. But I'm wondering about companies coming into 1/6, seeing kind of how we are, and they're thinking like, this market is tough, right? Because you got a lot of people wanting different things. You got a lot of competing interests. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, that's why Hot Toys just doesn't say anything probably, because they're just like, well, no matter what we say, we're fucked. So, you know, and that's probably with Inart. They're maybe why they were quiet for a little while. And they were like, oh, Inart's too quiet. And now they come out and say something and we're like, but Inart's not fast enough. So like, we ask for
transparency.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And we all do it. I do it. All of us. So that's kind of, you know, what's tricky about this, finding that sort of level-headed medium that I would say.
No, absolutely. You know? And part of me sometimes feels that Inart's transparency has backfired in some cases, but have been a positive in others. It's definitely something that, you know, no company does, but I guess because they do communicate, we're like, yo, so listen, we want it now, you know? So it definitely opens them to be a target to the community.
Yeah, it does. Well, guys, great thoughts on that one. And I know we had a super chat from Mr. Carlos, Daddy Carlos. We had to get to that. He said, bitch, you're selling your Joker, though. Is that to Anthony? I'm not sure.
That is to me. Yes, that is to me.
Did you sell the 2-pack? Is that what it was?
No. I think he's referring to when I get my sculpted one. I'm still waiting for Spec Fiction to ship mine out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was saying, because I was getting tired of it. I was like, you know what? If it happens, you know, I'll sell it. But the more and more that, you know, the other day, like Toy Anxiety had a sale of the DX 11 accessories, and I bought like a chair and the table, and I was like, you know,
nice.
Maybe I might just keep this and, you know, see how it goes first. But yeah, try to fit it in my collection somehow.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, all right, guys. Well, that sounds exciting. Like I said, thanks for your thoughts on that one. We got to talk about something pretty exciting here. And this is a boy that I think is going to be on everyone's radar, right? The Hot Toys Carnage. And guys, I do want to give the shout out, and I do want to say, let the record show, Kiko did not win the debate, because it is not a matter of me sacrificing my own discount that Carnage is not going to be discounted, because let the record show that that's what happened. But I did go ahead and buy Carnage from Toys buying agent Tim Sent, so I am pretty excited about that. But I want to ask you guys the question: is bigger really better? Because we're talking about this Carnage, right? And this is a figure that is pretty massive. Kiko, you have it in hand. This guy is, I think, about 17 inches tall. He's bigger than Thanos. He's a big boy. So I want to ask the question, though. What I've heard from collectors really about this Carnage, no one is debating its quality. It's phenomenal. It's great. It came out just as great as everyone could have hoped for, maybe even better. It looks great. But is bigger really better? This guy can't fit in a DTOF unless you take the shelf out, like Kiko said. If you want to put the tendrils on him, he probably can't, right, at all. So it's a tough one. Kiko, is bigger really better when it comes to specifically 1/6 collectibles? Because it does create, like, look at the tumbler, right? Look at the Ecto 1, those type of things. You had to create separate display for those. What do you think about this? Carnage is a perfect example, I think, to analyze that sort of concept.
I don't think it's a perfect 1-for-1 comparison, because if you look at this figure in a vacuum, it's a big figure, yes, that's going to draw people's attention to it. If you were to scale it with like a quarter scale figure, it's kind of in the same vein as almost like a quarter scale figure. And so I would look at a quarter scale and be like, that is not really better. But then you look at this Carnage, you look at Venom, you look at Hulk, you look at Thanos, these bigger figures. I think when paired with a 6 scale figure, it really shows just how massive it is. The presence, I always talk about presence on this show. That's when the presence is shown, when you can see it in scale with something else. And I think I put a picture on my Instagram yesterday of Carnage next to Venom. And I mean, Venom comes up to his chest essentially, and he towers over him. And there's so many people out there that said, that's not my Carnage, not my Carnage. My Carnage is slender and scrawny and lean. And I was like, well, okay, that's fine. But this is the the Sonyverse Carnage that we got. And this is probably the only Carnage you're going to get. And so for me, I think it's awesome. You saw my little reel of where I'm messing with the head. Or
dude, you dropped it.
So I was saving that sound specifically because I knew something was going to happen eventually one day, and I was like, perfect, it happened. But even the head, I mean, it's like a giant walnut. It's huge, but you can put so much detail into it. It's very, very cool. And I don't even know if I've even answered the question to say, is bigger really better? No, not by any means, but it commands presence. I'll say that over and over again, to where you can just hold it in your hand and like, wow, this is something special. I remember when I got in-game Thanos. No, Infinity War Thanos. That was the first one that came out. I remember holding it in my hand, and I'd only had maybe like 10 Hot Toys at that time. And, they're all your 12-inch 6 scale figures.
Right.
But when I had that in my hand, I was like, wow, this is something different. This is a figure. And you can just feel it. And it's not the best constructed thing. It's got a little bit of ratchety joints by any means. But when you hold it, it's big. It's cool. And I think that is the answer that you may be looking for, is that it's not going to be for everybody. But there's some things, I even said it in my real review of Carnage, do you need to find a way to fit this into your display? And I say yes, because this is such an iconic character. And they're like, well, that's not the that I believe and grew up with. That's not the point I'm making, is that this is a sweet representation of a really cool character. And I think you'll kick yourself if you don't end up with this one.
Interesting. Well, Anthony Javier, what do you think, bro? Hot Toys Carnage, is bigger really better? Because Thanos, Kiko, I can relate to that, because Thanos, I think, was the first big figure that I bought too. When I unboxed it, I was like, wow. There's been very few figures that I unboxed and the
box comes with a giant like little handle on it.
Yep.
Like,
Thanos had a handle.
This is wild.
Exactly. Venom too, though. Venom's a big boy too. And like when I unboxed, and Venom's not even as near as big as Carnage. So when I unboxed Venom, I was like, damn. And there's something, Anthony, something to say just for statues real quick. Statues, that bigger presence, that is something that is pretty special. Like even the Pennywise I have, he's half scale. That's obviously a big boy. And then Sauron's quarter scale, but he's basically half scale, right? So
that one looks incredible.
Yeah, dude. There's something to be said for that. What do you think about this with this Carnage though? Are collectors kind of overlooking that?
I mean, for the size, I feel like if you really want a figure, you'll find out a way on how to fit it into your collection somehow. Like I can, I have a Gladiator Hulk right behind here, and I believe he's also 17 inches, just standing up straight. Is this Carnage 17 inches, or is it?
He's about that. I think he's 17, almost 18, isn't he, Kiko?
Almost 18. Damn.
If you have Hulk's feather helmet on or whatever, he's taller, because the picture I took Hulk out and put Carnage in there.
Gotcha.
And he's a hair shorter than Hulk is.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know. But yeah, I mean, I guess if collectors really, really want a representation of Carnage, this specific one, they'll find a way to fit it. I would personally say that a figure that has, just such presence, like with you guys, the Thanos to me was incredible when I first got it, and it was also my very first like big 1/6 scale figure. But then it kind of got like sidelined when I got the Gladiator Hulk, which is bigger than the
See?
Thanos. And I was like, man, this is a sick, and it's in the middle of my like display. Like it's in the middle. Everyone always turns and looks at it when they come into my room. They're like, yo, like that's incredible. Going back to the Carnage though, I do think that this is a piece that if people don't, yeah, look at that.
Oh, see, Kiko,
Wait, let me see that.
he brought the Carnage out, bro, flexing on us.
That
Dude,
is an incredible
Kiko, you can't pose this guy and have him not look good. Like he looks great in any pose.
Yeah, and so many people are like, "Well, I don't like the
joints,
single jointed elbows." I was like,
right.
You don't understand all the things he comes with. You wouldn't be able to pull that off with some of these giant knives that he has and such.
Right.
I mean, let me pull this bad boy back. Look how big this thing is.
Yeah,
and it's for a joke later on. But I mean, here's Venom. Here's Venom. There's Carnage. I mean, you can see like how much bigger.
He's a lot bigger.
That head sculpt looks incredible from here too.
Does,
I know. Yeah, damn, man. But
very cool stuff.
But again, no, I'm excited. I definitely have to get this guy in my collection like very soon. I am still waiting a little bit to see if I can get a deal on it. But
you can.
I mean, I can. Okay.
Kiko says no, though. Kiko says no, but I say
Kiko says no. I mean, I'll see. I mean, but to be fair, though, I feel like it is worth the price of admission. It just looks like an incredible piece, and it's definitely something that I feel like people, really want it. They'll make it fit somehow in their collection. Yeah, they might, move the details around like the shelving or something, but I don't know. I've seen some people also place big figures on top of their details, anyways. So there's lots of different options one can do if they really, really want this figure.
That's true, bro. Because if you really want the figure bad enough, you will find a way. Collectors will find a way. That's just what we do. We're adaptable. We're flexible. Mm-hmm. So it's, and I'll have my module cases hopefully sometime at the end of next month or June, maybe. So I got a space for Carnage next to Venom. So really,
are you okay with waiting for quality, Will?
Yeah, well, I waited long enough for that quality. So yeah, absolutely. And I will say the mod spaces I do have are phenomenal. I absolutely love them, and they're not even the same color as my other ones. So yeah. Really excited about that.
Wait,
anyway, guys. Yeah, what were we saying, Anthony?
Sorry, wait. Which ones did you order?
So I ordered a ton of black module cases. There's 6 custom statue cases and there's 4 6 165s. So a couple of the 6 165s are customs to fit a character like Carnage. They have 25 inches in height. So, a character like Carnage or Venom and Thanos, that type of stuff, those characters can fit inside comfortably.
Okay. So, and then I'm sorry, you said that the ones that you have now aren't the same color. You have white module cases?
White, yeah, white, because a collector in Maryland was selling them and I could not pass them up. He was selling them for basically under half price retail.
Ooh,
and they were unused basically. So I got them and I set them up and it actually gave me more room for statues. So I'm excited about that.
Perfect. Now I might have to take a look of your white module cases because I do like white cases better than black.
Bro.
So yeah.
They're pretty clean. Cool. And Kiko, you've seen my white cases. They're honestly, they had me thinking, I'm like, damn, if I didn't already order those black ones, like these white ones are pretty nice. So yeah. Perfect. But nonetheless, guys,
do they still make the white ones? I thought those were older ones that you got.
They do still make them. Yeah. So you can still get the white ones, but just in my point, my order was like,
is it quicker? If I wanted a bunch of white ones, would they
no, no, probably not. But they have been shaving down the production time. So that's been good. So I think I ordered mine like a little over a year ago or something. So yeah, it's been a while. But anyway, we have a super chat, guys. Thank you so much from Nick's Collectibles. He said, so Kiko, Inart Joker or Carnage? Ooh, Kiko, answer for the people.
I'll answer for the people. So I guess the question is, if I could only have one, which would I get or whatever, or which one am I happy with? Long story short, I am going, there's a reason that I posted pictures of Carnage first, because I was more hype for him. And after getting him out, and Nick, I'm sorry, man. I said I wasn't going to open mine until you got yours. I ended up opening them. I lied to you. I lied to you, man. But after getting the Inart ones out and messing with them, posing them up and things like that, I still will say that I think the Carnage is the better figure overall. For with what you get, I understand he's still super expensive too, but the value that you receive from Carnage and the presence and the look, and I can go find a Joker figure for my collection anywhere. It may not be Inart. It may not even be Hot Toys, but there's a bunch of versions of Joker out there. There's not a lot of Carnage out there. So it's going to be Carnage for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, bro. Absolutely. Well, it's tough. When I get Carnage in hand, maybe I'll be able to answer the question for you, Nick. I think I put Joker in my top like 3 figures in my collection right now, so it's pretty great. It's pretty great. Carnage is just so unique though, bro. Carnage is just, not that the Joker is not maybe a higher quality of figure, but Carnage has more presence because he's, again, it comes to the idea of bigger, better, unique. Carnage is a really unique, eye-catching figure. Joker, yeah, he looks great. The head sculpt's amazing, but yeah. What did Carlos say? Thanks so much, Carlos. Wow, you didn't wait for Nick. The Ecto is now 5,000.
That's actually gone. That's a 50% off deal because he was offering it to me for 10,000.
Yeah, right. That's a sideshow.
I'm about to Venmo you right now. Let's go ahead and get me that shipping label.
Carlos said 10,000, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Originally.
He's stupid. Anyway, King Killer said, got my Carnage for $350. Nice, bro. Nice. Maybe you had some rewards or something. You have to let us know. I got mine from Tim Cent. I think it was $526 shipped. We're going to talk about that because PayPal currency conversion,
it's never correct.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It messes me up. Yep. Yeah, and I couldn't use my credit card for whatever reason, so it charged me basically $20 more for PayPal to convert the currency, and I was like, God, yeah.
Wait,
so I didn't like
what?
Yeah, PayPal converts it by their own little standard apparently, and it just maybe because they want to take their own cut. I don't know, but
and their own multiverse.
Right. So it's just different. Like if you plug in HK to US dollars on Google, it'll give you a correct translation, but then PayPal is like, make it 110% basically. So they charged me $20 on top of what I should have owned. Basically, I should have got it for $505 shipped from Tim Cent EMS shipping, which is pretty good. It ended up being like $526. So
okay,
yeah. So anyway, guys, I feel like we have to get to another one here because I really want to argue with Kiko about this. Toys Yelena. Not really. Kiko and I, it's all love here, but we got to talk about this because there's a Yelena figure that had just been announced, and Hot Toys just decided again to drop anything and everything on a Friday. They said, you know what, Lights Camera Kiko Collects, they have a show to run, and they need some news to cover. So I appreciate Howard. I appreciate JC. Howard defended his belt on Nick's wrestling show that one time, so that was pretty fun. Okay, let me pose the question here, and I wish I could find the clip. There was live streams that we did back in the day. And yes, I've been wrong many times. I'm sure if you go back and pull clips, I'm sure there's times where I said something and it didn't turn out to be true. But I'd like to take my victory lap with this Yelena figure. Because at the time, when I mentioned this Yelena figure, I said, you know what? Not that the prototype wasn't good. I said the prototype is a good figure, but I said there are too many competing priorities for people to give a shit about this figure. I said basically there's too many things coming out. There's too many other things that are going to come out that are going to take people's attention and budget and money away from this Yelena. And now we have Yelena, and we're going to see how committed collectors are to her, especially now that the head sculpt turned out so goddamn terrible. Because I'm looking at this head sculpt, Kiko, I want to start with you. I want you to take the floor on this one because, guys, I'm sorry. Look, the original head sculpt, the prototype, was really great. I got to give Hot Toys a lot of credit. But as far as the final product, look, I don't care about Yelena, really. I like the Black Widow film. I actually thought it was pretty good. I liked it. But when I'm looking at this Yelena figure, I don't see Florence Pugh in here at all. I don't know who this is supposed to be. This, to me, unfortunately, looks like an older Toys era figure. That's what it looks like to me. Like, this is the type of head sculpt that I feel like Toys era would put out before they got better. Hopefully, anyway.
Damn.
I have higher hopes for them. But Hot Toys is so confusing because they'll release, which we'll talk about, that Wen Wu head sculpt. That looks great. And then they put out this, and I'm like, is this the same company? Like, I don't understand what happened here. But Kiko, I want to give you the stage here because I know you're going to highly disagree with me. So what do you think about this Yelena?
I cannot wait for this improved Yelena figure because I don't believe in the pre-orders that they showed that we were getting the headset. That is so awesome. The little earmuffs that she's got going on. I don't think that was originally shown in the original tease. But let's get to this. So I woke up, and this is one of the ones I've really been looking forward to. I with White Widow and this, I thought this would look awesome together. As you said, movie serviceable. I thought it was too late in the MCU as far as releasing. I feel like Scarlett was owed her original movie before she died, essentially. So that's not the point. This is a great figure. And as someone said in the chat a little bit earlier, the Sideshow First Looks unboxing is exactly what I was saying. In hand, it is better than the blogger photos. How many times have we seen the blogger photos and everyone's like, what the hell is this? Even Will saying, what the hell is this? I don't see Florence Pugh in this at all. I do. I even sent you a little screenshot or a little message, Will, and I was like, all right, here you go. Here is the head sculpt, here's the prototype, and here's 2 actual Florence Pugh pictures. And here's the difference. Her nose is a little bit thicker in the figure because, and we know how it is in real life as well with photoshopping and, filter effects. People love to slim things down. This does not look like a Toys era figure. It does not look like Star Ace. This is a fair, serviceable representation of Yelena Belova. And I love the magnet vest. I think it's got some really cool things. And if you have the White Widow and Taskmaster, there it is. That looks great. So, Will, I would like to ask you, I studied this, okay? I looked. I even put my hands over the different parts of the face to see what was missing. The eyes, and
yeah, let me pull it up.
You know how women end up doing their eyebrows. I live with one, their eyebrows change from day to day. You can't look at the eyebrows completely. You can look at the brow, but not the eyebrows. So the picture I saw of her is that naturally she's either got thicker eyebrows in real life, but then in the show, they're a little bit trimmed down. No big deal. That's fine. Those are fine. But the eyes are there. I even looked at the shape. Those are there. I looked at the nose. I was like, that nose does look a little bit thicker. That may not be correct. The lips are correct. Well, there it is. Yeah, I sent that to you.
Yeah, I had to find it.
So that is her. And I think if you can honestly say that you don't see Florence Pugh in that, I don't see honestly what you may be saying.
Dude, to me, man, so I'm looking at Florence Pugh. These are different lighting circumstances, right? The figure
Correct.
versus
lighting is always going to be
her on Jimmy Kimmel versus on the red carpet, right? Okay, so first things first, I'm looking at the cheeks. That was
Jimmy Kimmel by the background is fantastic.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know. Just taking a guess, but I would say that okay. So the first things first, Kiko. Let's talk about. To me, if we're pointing out specific things, and I'll let Anthony go on this one too. But the face structure looks different to me. So if we're looking at, I don't know if I can scroll my mouse right. So if we're looking at the face structure here, right here, I feel like this is a little bit wider than Florence Pugh's actual face.
She's smiling in that one. You have to look down at the bottom one to get the real cheeks.
Even then, it doesn't. And also the eyes. It could be the lighting. Kiko. I'm willing to admit it. The blogger photos. People panicked with Rey too. I get that. And I still don't think that Rey head sculpt is like a 10, but it's not terrible either, right? So the Rise of Skywalker one. So there can be panic. There can be false panic. However, I think the cheek structure is a little bit off. If I'm looking at the eyes, something with the eyes looks off too. And they're different facial expressions. She's squinting a little bit. Maybe she has some bright lights on her in real life, but the eyes look different. They look a little bit wider and bulgier, I guess, than her eyes actual look in these photos, at least. So it's, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's off. It's just a really not good head sculpt.
And that's the thing, is that we can find, if you are convinced in your mind, if there's that one thing that triggers you and you're like, something is not right, you will never be able to look past it. It's kind of like when I said, I don't really know what to do with my display situation because I know that my displays are inferior to a Magic case. And I just walk by it every single day and I'm like, there's just something not right about it. I don't know what it is. And that's the way it is with everything. I get real OCD about stuff. I'll sit there and just pick at my beard because something is not laying right. That's just the way I am about all that stuff. But I mean, that's a great photo of her loading the gun and all that stuff. I don't have to blur my eyes, but if you've convinced yourself that you can't see it, you'll never eventually see it. That's the thing. And maybe I'm just sitting there with rose-colored glasses on and I'm convinced myself that it's correct. But I think when I have it in hand and I take my photos, you'll say like, wow, that is Florence Pugh. Because remember the Black Widow figure that came out? That's not Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
And I end up taking the pictures. I'm like, that's Scarlett Johansson. That's probably the best version we've gotten of her. Now, I will say, Hot Toys has struggled with women's faces since forever. They've never been able to nail women's sculpts 100%. I think that's part of it. But all I can say is that I better hear the same outrage that you have for this when you're saying that the Mace Windu character was correct. Everyone's like, oh, 10 out of 10. 10 out of, when you said the Padme is, 10 out of 10, everybody. That Natalie Portman Padme figure is farther from Natalie Portman than this is from Florence Pugh.
Yeah. Well, dude, the lady Mighty Thor one they updated though. That one's pretty good. You got to admit.
That's a good one.
That's a pretty good one. They updated that one. Okay, so Anthony, jump in on this one. Break the tie here. What are you thinking?
Dude, someone in the comments, I think it was Shiny, mentioned that this looks like Ronda Rousey, and now I can't, I can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like it's not a bad sculpt in the slightest.
Shiny
I
Shiny
feel,
also said that The Dark Knight was not as good at what movie did he say?
Well, he just tries to get under
Oh,
people's
damn.
skin. He's just a funny dude. He just tries to post shit, so it's funny.
Man, I can't unsee that Ronda Rousey like comparison now for some reason, but I don't think the sculpt is as bad as like old Toys era. I definitely feel it's like, man, I don't want to like insult Toys era, but I feel like it's definitely like a Toys era now quality sculpt. I mean, I don't know if that's like a dig or
No.
anything, but because they're good now. But I definitely don't want to say this is one of Hot Toys' best. It's not the worst sculpt I've seen from them. And I think that honestly, if we're gonna be comparing how she looks, we should probably take like the movie stills instead of like the red carpet or like on the talk show.
I'll try to pull some up.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like
I'll wait for
it's
the
not-
definitive Hawkeye version of her in the black.
The definitive
yeah, I
version.
was gonna say that's probably one of like my
Her
more
with the black
favorite
lipstick
looks.
is pretty sick though.
I think I really like that show a little bit more than the movie, so that's why I'm a little bit like more like in line with it. But I don't think I would ever pick up this figure. Honestly, I think that the figure itself looks kind of basic to me. I mean, I know you can't really do much because that's what she came with and that's what she wore in the movie. But at the same time, I feel like I don't know. I guess this just goes back to the other issue.
It's a good picture.
That is a good picture. Wait, can you?
It's not there. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
guys.
hold up.
It's
Nah, I
not
don't-
there. Okay, so one, it's different angle, different lighting, so forth.
I don't
Like
know.
it's not there. It's not. Like, and look, I know Riley is wants to defend the mid Batman, but what I'll say with
He's
Loki,
officially the
right?
mid-man now. That's what it
The
is.
midman.
So here's what I'll say with Loki, right? Loki, I've pretty much been admitting that head sculpt is not a 10, right? But there's a big ass horn helmet on his head. Yelena, you can't do that, right?
I'm not saying this is a 10. I'm saying that it is
Right.
Florence Pugh. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but Riley's saying, well, it's as good as Loki. I don't think it is. If you're looking at Loki's head sculpt without the helmet, sure, maybe. But I'd even think Loki is better than that personally. But Loki has a helmet, so you can make it better. It's kind of like with
something really
Scorpion.
off. Yeah, no, there's something really off with this sculpt that I can't. Damn,
Okay.
it just does not look like her for some. Yeah, that movie's still.
So
I mean, I know
maybe
it is
it's
a
just the
different
wrong
angle.
still. I don't know, but like it's a different hairstyle, I guess, because it's a different scene in the film. But even then, like it I just don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, guys. Once mine
besides
gets
that-
here, I need you guys to share it on your stories to say, like, wow,
Yeah.
this figure sucks. He did a terrible job at this. Do not repost this. He'll get mad.
Yeah.
No,
Well, Kiko, I trust your photos, but
Yeah, I was gonna say Kiko, you'll have some good pictures, man. But again, I feel like someone said it in the comments. If all the blogger photos look bad, right, or if there's something off about all the blogger photos, I don't think there's an issue with the photography. I think there's an issue with the actual figure. That's just I don't know. I saw that,
won't we?
I
mean,
Kiko
hey,
can make
look,
anything
look.
look good, bro. Kiko can make anything.
Well,
But
we'll
I will
see,
say
we'll see.
this is that I will be the first when Wanda does come. I will be as critical about that as possible because I know what that needs to look like and should look like. All right. So I'm not just the consume person to where I have to just have everything and everything's great and gravy and all that. I will be objective about the Wanda when it comes. I promise. So it's not just me. I'm not just smoking crack right now. Carlos thinks I'm drunk. I'm not. I'm sober.
No,
I
it's
can't
all
drink
good.
because of my illness.
It's all good, bro. Hey, dude, I love hearing everyone's thoughts on this, and it's just a fun discussion. Like I said, guys, don't take anything we say too seriously. It's just, but that's how I feel about it. I mean, but at the end of the day, everyone has their own opinion. Like I said, if you like the Yelena figure, buy it. I mean, I absolutely think, if you're happy with it, a lot of people felt that way about Loki when it dropped, right? And, I was kind of nervous too. And then when I got the figure in hand, I was like, this is pretty good with the helmet on. So, and now I got a fucking bug circling my mic. But anyway, so that's something for sure that we can look at. Why does this thing want to do this now during a live stream? It's because you know what they are? They're attracted to the lights, bro. Like when you bring in lights, like the bugs to get in your house. Do you guys have that, or is it just a Maryland thing?
I have skeeter hawks, as we've talked about.
Skeeter hawks.
Yeah, they're the big skeeters that eat actual mosquitoes. And Amy's like, "Don't worry about that, Kevin. They're the one that get the bad ones." I'm like, "I don't want these fluttering things in my house. It's terrible."
Dude, I had to exterminate a stink bug the other day. It was
Hell
pretty.
no. Oh, you had one like on your light, like not. You had a stink bug in your room.
Remember
not
that?
long. I remember
Yeah.
that. That was a big
Yeah.
episode.
I had one in. Do you know where this one was? In the sink. and I drowned it. So yeah,
Watch
I
that
had to, bro. I had to get it. I had to get that thing. And it didn't even fight me, apparently. It just like went right in and just, they were like, okay, I've accepted my fate.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Wash them away.
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty interesting. So anyway, guys, let's talk about something else exciting on the docket here. I want to talk about this because I want to hear the chat's thoughts, because I'm feeling a little bit of FOMO. And I don't know what to do because I just bought Carnage and now I screwed myself with my budget. So I want to talk about something that is very exclusive and that makes me feel FOMO. And I want to see if anyone else is feeling the same thing. So we're going to talk about the exclusive 350 ES Wenwu in suit from Shang-Chi. He comes with a box of rings. No other figure can say that. It's a pretty unique looking box. That said, Kiko, am I crazy here? Is this head sculpt better than the other Wenwu? What happened? Because
okay,
am I taking crazy pills? Because I have that Wenwu in hand, and I think that head sculpt is good, but not great. And then I see this one, and I'm like, but this one's great. What happened? Like, am I wrong here, Kiko?
Yes, this is exactly.
Is it the exact same?
You know what the thing about this figure that makes it elite is the actual art box. Did you see the art box of this thing?
Yeah, I could pull it up, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It looks so damn cool. But yeah, between that and the actual box of rings, he doesn't come with a lot of the sweet swoosh effects, that the actual Wenwu does. But as you said, that exclusive tag is very, very tempting. And I also this one has bare hands and the wedding ring, obviously, as opposed to the gloves. So that's kind of cool. And if you have the original Mandarin chair, I mean, that's a cool scene. And I'm considering it myself, not just because of that exclusive tag, but because it's kind of cool. I mean, it's a really nice suit. It's kind of suave and the rings look good, but you have to ask yourself, in all honesty, do you need a Wenwu in a suit, Will? When you have the Wenwu, the definitive Wenwu. But do you really just want the exclusive tag?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. And that's why it's tempting. So, Anthony Javier, tell me, bro, is this... And to answer the question, Kiko, it doesn't sound like you're saying this figure is boring, though. I don't think it's boring, but I just feel like if you had most people... Like, if this was not exclusive and you put these two Wenwus up for pre-order, how many people are really getting this one? You know what I mean?
This is not boring because if you think about, like, Bruce Wayne in a suit, that's kind of boring, even if he's holding a batarang. I mean, that's kind of boring. But this is from a action scene and he's wearing the rings. I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't think it's boring. And I love the scene where, like, the hands in the pocket, or the picture where the hands in the pocket. I mean, it's a neat little trick. Just pop the hand off and shoot it in there. It's a neat pose. I like that. I like the chair. I like all that stuff. I think if done right, it could be a interesting presence. I know that's the buzzword of this show, apparently. It's not a boring figure, but it's not oh my God, who is that when you walk in? Because this kind of gives me, like, Joel and Ellie vibes. Oh, sweet guy in plaid. Oh, sweet guy in shirt.
Nice.
Something like that.
Yeah, understandable.
Guy in suit.
Yeah, it's a guy in suit. That's pretty much what it is. Guy with rings and suit. So what do you think, Anthony? Is this figure boring? Is this something you would consider picking up? Because I just got the other Wenwu and I really, really like it overall. But this one, that edition, that exclusive thing, it's kind of, yeah.
I really feel that I won't be picking this up. I feel like this figure is kind of boring to me. There's nothing that pops on it, just because, like, I don't know, like, I like figures that pop. Like, I don't know, you guys can see here, like, most of these, the colors pop, or the Spider-Man pop, the Power Rangers pop. It's something that I feel would probably get drowned out.
This
even
is a
more
LinkedIn
so
photo.
This is his LinkedIn photo.
Right. This is a LinkedIn photo. It does look cool, but I didn't know it didn't come with all those effects that the original figure came with. And I feel like that's what makes the original figure. All those special effects, the clear, transparent blue. You can get it to some nice poses. I feel with this one, it might, you can have some nice poses and everything, but I guess it's just a guy in a suit. Personally, I do think it is boring. I know the exclusive factor makes this a little bit less boring or very exciting for some. But I don't see myself picking this one up. I'd rather pick up a John Wick if I'm picking up a figure in a suit. I'd rather do that. Because he comes with all the guns, all the accessories. With this one, I think it's a good pass from me. It's definitely, if someone really wants this figure, go right ahead. it's an exclusive, so it's a really cool piece. Like, I won't deny that it's cool that you have it. I just don't want it because it just doesn't fit my collection and looks kind of just boring. I'd rather have Wenwu in his regular outfit, pretty much. The blue is perfect.
Right. Yeah, dude, and you're right. Like, if you're looking at it on face value, everyone's going to pick the Wenwu in the blue outfit because that one pops a lot more on the shelf, especially like you said, Anthony, with the effects and everything. I even inspired Kiko to do a similar pose, I think. So yeah, I got him in a cool. I'll show it in the video, but kind of him holding the sort of flame effect with the rings going out and him, with fist clench on the other side. You can do a lot with that figure, bro. You can pose him to your heart's content. There's so much you can do with it. So it's really, really great. But this Wenwu, because, it's not for everyone, but I'm a huge, huge fan of Shang-Chi as a film. So I just feel like, I don't know, man. I'm just tempted by this one, but I don't want to be irresponsible. If I can only have 17 Marvel figures, right, then yeah.
Oh, is that what you're doing? You're doing
probably, yeah, probably. Because I have 4 cases, right? And one case is going to be specifically Marvel, right? So, and then at that point, I'm going to see how many I can actually fit in that case realistically. But 17 is just a raw ballpark for now. So
nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
And yeah, I just want to bring up really quick too. Like, I have the So Toys Kingpin right here. I feel like this figure pops a little bit more. It doesn't have as many accessories, but the presence on like just a bigger, white suit, bigger figure. It's like one of those things that I guess just pops to me. This I think is very much like just a gray suit. Just he's a smaller figure. I think it'll get lost in many people's collections if they have it. Having this standing next to, I don't know, like let's say you put it in a villains collection, right? Like a villains display. You could have this guy next to Thanos, next to Loki, next to Venom, next to like Ultron.
It won't look as good next to Carnage.
Yeah, it's gonna get drowned out. I'd rather do
that's a really good point.
The Mandarin in blue.
That's a really good
special
point.
Effects.
Yeah, because you're right. You put him next to Carnage, and it's like, how do you feel about that? I honestly, and I think like Kiko said, Anthony, I think the attractive quality about this figure is the exclusive factor, which is what Hot Toys knew probably, because they probably knew this wouldn't be a super high mover if they put it up like any typical figure, right? But if you make 350 and you say, oh, it's Tony Leung and this is rare, right? Then you got people's attention a little bit more. But yeah. Guess we'll see. Guys, thank you so much for that. I want to address a couple like super chat things that we got here. So I know Carlos had gifted a bunch of memberships, and I had to go way back just to find that because it didn't even update me that was a thing. So I got to go all the way back and find that. But in the meantime, I'm going to share Riley's super chat because I can find that one much more easily. I think so anyway. Like sometimes Melon makes things a little bit difficult to find stuff, but at the same time, I will find it. It's just way the hell up here. There it is, Riley. So Riley, Toys Era, for once, I'm with Kiko. 8 out of 10, not amazing. What do you guys think about that? He's talking about Yelena. I don't know. What do you think, Anthony?
I've said my piece.
Yeah.
I guess we're a little bit late, but
it's definitely not amazing. I just don't think it's not one of Hot Toys' best. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kiko, prove me wrong. You can definitely prove me wrong.
Kiko will do it with the photos. He'll do it with the yeah. But thank you so much, Riley. And Carlos, there he is. Daddy Carlos gifted 20 WillFoxification members. Thank you so much, bro. That is super generous. I don't even know how you do that, but apparently it's been done. So yeah, that's super exciting. So thank you guys, everyone who has joined the membership. That's really, really great. So Carlos did that, and what a giving, kind soul that Carlos is. Even though, what did he text me earlier today? Like, I was like, dude, I don't know if this figure is going to fit in my collection. He was like, quit being a bitch. He was like, it's going to fit. So yeah, that's Carlos for you right there.
What a giving father.
I know. What a giving daddy that Carlos is. So absolutely. All right. Well, I want to ask you guys about something else here because we got something pretty exciting. This is the first possibly of a video game line. This is from the Jedi Survivor game that actually dropped today, which I still need to pick up at some point. I'll probably pick it up maybe this weekend or something. I've heard pretty good things. I've heard of some performance issues on PC, but I'm playing it on PlayStation, so to me it doesn't really matter all that much. That said, this is the Scout Trooper Commander from Jedi Survivor with Cal Kestis, which hopefully a lot of people have been really wanting a Cal Kestis. Hopefully that is delivered to us. I always wanted a second sister from the first game. I really liked her a lot. So they could even do I guess I can't say that because that would be a spoiler. There's another character that they could do from that game that maybe they could bring into figure form. That said, I want to ask you, Kiko. This is, to me, it's another trooper, right? And that's probably why it's easy for Hot Toys to do. But are we excited about the prospects of a video game line here being explored? Because this could be something exciting for collectors.
It's very exciting to think about it, but I want to let everyone know that I got my hands on a copy of this unique figure already. And they went ahead and sent it to me because they're like, Kevin, you do some great photography. Will you do our blogger photos? I'm like, absolutely, I will. So I went ahead and shot these. The things that you're viewing right now are the photos that I took. But this is a safe bet because there's a lot of scout troopers floating around. There are lots of speeder bikes floating around. And they said, hey, do we have a couple extra pauldrons floating around? Yeah, just grab that and throw it on a speeder bike. Well, what are we going to do? Well, just call it Video Game Master Series or something, and we'll get around to it eventually. Cool. Great idea. That's what happened. So, as I said, already got the figure. So, this is a very odd first choice out of the gate. Well, let's go to Inart for a second. For Inart, they're like, all right, we're going to knock the doors down with the Joker. All right, here you go. Boom. For this, they give us the Scout Trooper. That's very odd. It's the safest choice ever, and it's the biggest, fattest no from me that you could possibly get because I have too many troopers already as it is. I could create this trooper myself. That is I forgot the lightning effect from the Coruscant Guard. That's what that one was. I should have brought that in there. It's all reused parts. Now, let's get back to the main thing. We have the Video Game Master Series line now officially. That means, yes, everyone is wanting Cal Kestis. I think that is probably the biggest get if you're going to start doing Fallen Order things. I would love a second sister. But the Cal Kestis stuff, especially because we got the BD-8 already in that Droid 3-pack, I think Cal Kestis is probably potentially coming. But this opens up the realm of, okay, now we can go to all the games, which means KOTOR and Knights of the Old Republic.
And I had to pull it up, Kiko, just to show you this.
This is the gateway to Revan. This is the gateway to Malik. And they can take all the creative licenses they want. I mean, imagine us. I mean, we were talking about how cool it was going to be to get like the Rebels things with Hera and Sabine and all that stuff. Can you imagine getting the KOTOR figures and getting Bastilla and getting Revan? You can even do a exclusive version to 350 and do Revan in the white instead.
Dude.
That is one that I'd pick up. Is a Toy Fair exclusive 350 units. I'd probably pay $800 for a white Revan. Aftermarket, of course. Day one as well. So weird choice for this figure, but huge possibilities for a video game series from Star Wars. People have been the Lucas Arts. I mean, you can even go back to the Lucas Arts games, from way back when. Give us a Dash Rendar from Shadows of the Empire and things like that. There's a lot of really cool options, man. So as someone who grew up in that area from, when Lucas Arts became a thing, this could be a really deep rabbit hole for me, but not with this figure.
The one thing I'll say, Kiko, about this is, and I've talked to Carlos about this pretty significant length, but as far as this Revan, right, dude, put Revan up for pre-order from Hot Toys. Watch that thing skyrocket to the top of the list. Because you know why? Because there are a ton of Star Wars fans who do know Revan, who love Revan, and even if not, the dude just looks cool. Right? You could put him on any shelf and be like, I don't even know who that is, but damn, he has a cool costume, right? Revan just looks badass as shit. So hopefully this game gets made at all.
Don't you have a cosplay of Revan?
I do. That's what I thought
you did, yeah.
Yeah, I love Revan. And I have a statue, which you have also. Statue of Revan. Malik would be great, by the way, also. I'd love to see a Malik figure. I would definitely consider that. But I do have a Revan cosplay. I absolutely love Revan. Dude, Revan's fantastic. But anyway, on Jedi Survivor, I am excited to play the game. I've heard mostly good things about it. Jedi Fallen Order was pretty good.
155 gigs.
Oh, yours is downloading?
Yeah, it's been downloaded for like 3 hours. What's that?
155 gigs?
Yeah.
Damn. Wait, what'd you get it on?
PS5.
PS5, yeah.
Damn.
I've heard good things. Yeah, I want to get it. Maybe I'll go get it like tomorrow or something. I do want to get it. I've been playing through The Last of Us for like the 30th time. So I'm trying to do that. But it's a part 1. It's the remake, Anthony. So it's a little bit different. But Anthony,
very, very on brand.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think, Anthony, about this this Scout Trooper Commander here? Are you excited about this figure and also possible more video game figures?
Man, so for me, I'm kind of like torn a little bit just because I mostly collect Marvel. And I just recently started getting into Star Wars, into like collecting Star Wars figures. To me, though, I don't think I will ever buy just a regular nameless trooper. I'd rather go for like a Rex or a Cody. So to me, this doesn't really pique my interest. It does look cool, because it's a nice constructed troop. Hot Toys by this point knows what to do. And like Kiko said, it's a bunch of reuse. So I really would expect this figure to come out maybe next year earliest, right? But in terms of it being the first figure to announce in a brand new video game line, I think it's really weird. They should have started with Cal, as everyone has been saying. That would have been a nice, yes, this is.
Someone mentioned in the comments, and I forgot. They've done video game line before with Star Wars because of the Battlefront Jet Troopers. I forgot about that.
Right.
They have those 2 troopers, right? Is that the 2 white ones? The ones from...
Yeah, there's Jump Troopers, and I think they even did the Snow Troopers as video game versions too.
The Snow Troopers, I remember those. But yeah, man, like I'm saying, it's just weird that they started off with Cal. I mean, that they didn't start off with Cal. But at the same time, I'm very excited about this opening the possibility for more video game Star Wars characters. Man, when you brought up Darth Raven, for some reason I didn't even think about that. I was like,
dude, could you imagine?
Why did I not? Dude, I was just talking to Carlos about it like a few days ago because I was talking to Riley, I was talking to Nick. I was like, I want Star Wars figures in my collection, man, and I want a nice balance of like Jedi and Sith. But then I was like, man, it would be cool to have a Darth Raven, but then we don't have one. But now that you said that, fingers crossed, man. I hope I hope Hot Toys does that. What was that? The Inspired By, or just starts getting more licenses for different or older or newer games. Man, Hot Toys, man, they have a lot to work with. So I'm very excited to see where they go. But back to this trooper, not a pickup for me. I am excited for a video game line possibility. But yeah, I guess this trooper is it's a no for me.
I feel like this is the type of trooper that you're gonna find really cheap at some point. Like it's gonna be like
is bargain bin.
Yeah, this is bargain bin, exactly. This is gonna be like Toys Wonderland, $120, $115. Like
you thought that Shore Trooper grunt was cheap.
Exactly, bro. Because the Shore Trooper has way more personality than this does, and I think
isn't even a legacy on screen trooper. This literally looks like someone found some pieces in their car and put it together.
Right. Yeah, which is probably why it's so cheap to make. Hot Toys was like, fuck it, let's do it, put it out there. So
did this go on pre-order yet or no?
I gotta check and see. I'm not sure if it went up yet.
I'm wondering what the price is, considering most of this is just
I actually got an email from Sideshow. Please hold.
Oh yeah, let me check. Price $240. That seems high. That seems high.
$240.
Yeah, I was thinking he would probably be like
July of 2024 to December of 2024 is the window.
Wow.
I was thinking maybe he'd be like 225, 220. Because
I don't think we're ever going to see Hot Toys that price anymore.
Maybe, yeah.
Unfortunately,
remember the days, Anthony Javier, and you remember Kiko. Praetorian Guard was 205. 205.
Really?
Pretty crazy.
I remember when I started collecting, figures were just around like the 220 to 250 mark. Seeing it go up is kind of eye opening, but
yeah.
But yeah, damn, 240 for this is. Yeah, I don't really buy troopers, so I don't know what a good price for them would be, but that does seem pretty high.
I think you're going to be able to get this thing a lot cheaper than that, unless they make like 50 of them, which could be a thing they do now. But
I mean, hey, those clone troopers didn't go back on pre-order, right? On Sideshow.
No, and the Battle Droid hasn't either. The Attack of the Clones one. So that's one I kind of want to pick up too, just because we played a lot of Battlefront, so I kind of want to get that one. But again, guys,
dude, I just bought the game.
Dude,
yes,
we're gonna play.
Yes.
We're gonna play.
I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, but this Revan I think is where we should go. Besides Cal, obviously, we want Cal, but I would greatly prefer a Revan.
Dude, I would also be down for like a Star Killer, honestly. If they start going back to older licenses,
which we got a super chat. Thank you so much, Anthony, about that because we got a super chat. Michael del Castillo. Michael, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. If not, I apologize, sir. Thank you so much for the kind super chat. I want a Star Killer with a voice box that says Kenobi. Yeah, absolutely.
Michael del Castillo.
Michael, how was it pronounced? Del
Castillo. Yeah, Del Castillo.
Well, Carlos always calls me a gringo, so I sometimes I mispronounce last names. So anyway, but thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you, bro. And yeah, I appreciate the generosity, man. Really appreciate it. And of course, the Riley and Carlos and everyone else who's super chatted. So thank you guys so much. That said, we got time, I think, for a couple more here. So I want to ask collectors here. Maybe this is a way of me justifying my own actions today, right? Because Kiko knows about this, right? Kiko knows that I went ahead and I told you, Anthony, but I bought the Carnage figure from Toys Buying Agent, aka Mr. Tim Cent. Carnage, figure for, I think, like I said, paid $526 shipped out the door to get to Maryland. That said, I want to ask the question. We've addressed this maybe a few times before, but for people maybe who are not, or maybe they're still unsure, right? A lot of people buy from Sideshow. There are a lot of people who probably don't even watch these streams that think Sideshow and Hot Toys are actually the same thing, and they're not, right? But there are Hong Kong resellers that are becoming more and more appealing because, one, they are technically getting it to you a little bit faster, typically, more often than not, and also their prices have been pretty competitive since Sideshow has been getting figures faster. Hong Kong resellers have started to maybe undercut them a little bit because they're saying, okay, well, you're going to get it in a similar time frame, but we're going to cut you in price and maybe get it to them slightly faster. So it's a win-win. But Kiko, you tend to be a first batch guy. What's been your experience buying first batch HK figures? I've had some ups, some downs here and there. I generally try not to, but with Carnage, it was just too good to ignore. And I've had some good experiences, particularly with Kit and particularly with what's it called? Toys Buying Agent. So what do you think about first batch Hong Kong figures?
I need to be real careful about this on how we say it. But you need to make sure that you are familiar with where you're buying them from. Buying them off random person on Facebook because they got it, or don't do stuff like that. Go to an authorized reseller and such, but know that you're going to be getting it as a resold product. One of the things I learned is that getting it from HK is that the price fluctuates a lot. A figure can be released the morning of, but then in 2 days later, it have dropped dramatically if there's not much interest. So if you want to gauge the how quick do I need it type of thing, that's something you need to ask yourself. Because for me, I need it quick. You know how I am because, life is short, buddy. I got to get out there and do my thing. So I go to Hong Kong because I know that most likely if I do a DHL, it's going to be in my house in 2 to 3 days, essentially, if that from when it ships. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with paying the premium of the shipping to get it there, because the worst experience ever was a couple of years ago or whenever that was, waiting for the in-game cap. That was the most painful thing ever for me. And I'm like, I'm so done with this. I'm doing it. I want to have that figure in my collection. And from there, I've been able to make some good relationships, find some good people that sell good things out there. But the number one thing you have to know is that if you want it first, you will pay for it. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? But then after a week, the market maybe settles and it may not be settling as much. Then it might drop. And you can say, okay, now I can maybe get it a little bit cheaper. But you always have to consider how far it's coming to you. All right. If you're stateside, it's coming a long way from China if you're going to be getting it there. And you're going to have to pay for that. If you want to take a cheap route and get it by boat, okay, sure, it might be cheaper, but it's going to take a long time. If you want to do Hong Kong Post, it'll still be quick, but it's going to take a little bit longer. If you want DHL or FedEx Priority, you're going to pay for that, but you get the confidence knowing that it's going to get there really quick. And to me, the peace of mind knowing that is what I wanted. So that doesn't work for everybody. Make sure to do it responsibly. And if it makes sense to you, then cool. That's great. But if not, just wait, get it at the time. And thankfully, Sideshow appears to be kind of catching up. We still don't know all these answers, but the other thing, last thing I'll say about this, rambling a little bit, is the pre-order thing, is that say the waitlist never converts, which I think it will eventually for a lot of people if you really want it. If it never converts, you most likely can still get the figure that you wanted that has been released over there for not much more than what the Sideshow price is. So you always will pay a little bit more, but there's a peace of mind knowing that you can obtain it if you want it.
Right. And I think so too, Kiko. And so, for example, I'm giving Wenwu as an example. When is he going to get the Sideshow? I originally had a pre-order with Sideshow for Wenwu, right? And the Sideshow even sent me a delay email saying, hey, he's probably not arriving until May to June, right? So I was like, do I want to wait that long for Wenwu? And then you know what happened? Fate came into play, and Kit posted he had one in stock, and he posted it, and I have my coupon code that I use, and I got it for $263 shipped, I believe, right? 263, 265, something like that. And it got to me in like 5 to 6 days or something, right? It got to me really quickly. And again, 265 shipped. Remember, this is a $250 figure, right? So if you buy that figure from Sideshow and you don't have a coupon of some kind, $250 plus shipping plus tax, you're paying over $265. So then at that point, it becomes more attractive to buyers and collectors like myself who said, okay, I trust Kit, I trust Tim Cent, right? And they can get it to me faster, maybe a month or two or more faster. And I'm actually paying less than what I would be paying Sideshow. Again, you don't have that security though. Like those guys will take care of you a lot of times, but you also have to ship it back to Hong Kong. Then they replace it and they ship it back to you. It's a lot more of a hassle than with Sideshow, where if you're in the States, you just they say, okay, destroy it or maybe send it back to us. It's a lot simpler and a lot easier with Sideshow. So it's just a matter of how you want to do this. But Anthony, what do you think about this? I mean, should collectors be buying first batch? Do you ever buy first batch? I do, depending upon the circumstance. But what about you?
Yeah, I don't think all collectors should be buying first batch. I'm a big believer of collectors should, definitely buy where they feel most comfortable.
Right.
Where, if they, don't mind waiting a little bit longer. But again, if people don't want to wait at all, more power to you. Me personally, I don't buy too often from Hong Kong, first batch. I will for certain specific figures though, such as, an Andrew or a Toby or a new red and blue suit for Tom. Those are figures that I will 100% go first batch for Hong Kong because I need it. I don't, I guess I'm the opposite of Kiko at this point because I don't really mind waiting, a month or maybe even a full year, because Endgame Cap did almost take, right, like a full year to get to Sideshow, right? Wasn't it something?
It was like probably
ridiculous?
4 to 6 months. I remember the original Mando did too. The Beskar Mando. It took forever.
Yeah. So I don't really mind, but I also, do see sometimes that buying from overseas is a lot cheaper. I managed to get my Endgame Thanos for like $250 like off or whatever what I would have paid through Sideshow. So it definitely is something that I keep in mind when looking at a figure that I want to buy. But the first batch Hong Kong is definitely something I would only do in specific circumstances. Like you, Wenwu, great option because you love Shang-Chi. You love the Wenwu character, right? So that makes sense. But would you be going around trying to get, I don't know, Yelena first batch Hong Kong? I don't think
and
so.
she's 284. Kiko will, but she's 284, Anthony, plus shipping. So you're probably looking at maybe 320 for her. Like that is that it? See, that's why it's so case specific.
Yeah.
Carnage
is 250 on Sideshow already anyway. Plus, with these,
True.
you never have to pay tax.
True, you don't. But Carnage is a much more recognizable deal, Kiko, because with Carnage, he's 510 on Sideshow. And Tim Sen, he's basically, if PayPal doesn't screw you, 506 shipped. Like, and that's a big figure. So he's been out a little bit longer. But sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I think this really goes back to the discussion of, would you rather save? Because there's so many factors that go into this conversation, right? But would you rather save if, maybe 20, 30 bucks minimum by waiting, or do you want to go pay the premium? Sometimes it can be even more than $30 to get it now. You can enjoy the figure now. You can take, some really awesome pictures to convince other people to get them like Kiko, or, you can just wait a little bit longer, save yourself some bucks and just wait for it to arrive at your doorstep. That's something that I did with a few of my Avengers characters, like all these guys. I did have to go to Hong Kong to get some specific ones, like that D23 Spidey, like the Avengers Campus one. But I guess, for me, it's a really like a very specific case by case basis, but again, when Andrew and Toby come out, yeah, I'm going Hong Kong first batch, and I'll be in this conversation saying the complete opposite of what I'm saying now. But yeah, that's it for me, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because say we're looking at Luke, right? Mando Luke. Tim sent 27.10 Hong Kong dollars. That's $345 plus shipping. So maybe you're looking at $370, right? That's probably about Sideshow price because you're paying $330 plus shipping and tax. But a lot of people aren't buying from Sideshow. They might buy from Alter Ego or Comic Concepts where you're not paying tax, right? So like you said, Anthony, if you are willing to wait, you can buy safer and probably cheaper. But yeah.
I have a lot of my pre-orders, not with Sideshow, but with Off the Rack, OTR. Yeah, I have a lot of them with him. He's great, so it's one of those things that I don't mind waiting if I get to save a little bit. And for me, it's like, I'll get the figure eventually, but I won't lie. It does hurt sometimes whenever like I'm still waiting for like, figures like, I don't know, a Captain America, Sam Wilson, it's like, damn, all these incredible pictures that Carlos keeps sending me. And I don't have it. So it's one of those things that, you really have to balance out. It's more than just if you just want a first batch figure via Hong Kong. It's, there's a lot of factors that go into that, because then you also can talk about the customer service that you get with Sideshow. Will you be receiving the same via overseas? I guess it depends on the situation.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And it's situational for sure. But guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. I want to move us to another interesting topic, and I want to ask a really important question here. Mars Toys has decided to enter the ring here. And I don't even know if I got to send this one to Anthony, but we're going to go off the spot with this one, right? Mm-hmm. So Mars Toys has decided to enter the Collector's Dominion ring here to give us a Willy Wonka with an Oompa Loompa. And the Oompa, yeah, it's really interesting. I don't even know, honestly, that I've ever even seen this film. I saw the Johnny Depp version.
What?
Yeah, because when I was Kiko, I know when I was younger, I saw the Johnny Depp version because that was more in my timeline, right? This one is a little bit older, it's a little bit different, right? So I had not seen the original film. I've seen a lot of memes of him. I've seen a lot of memes of this Willy Wonka, but I've not seen the original film. That said, I have to ask the question. People seem pretty excited, right? But at the same time, do collectors care enough to buy this? Kiko. There's also something interesting, maybe I guess we should say, that they're doing sort of a collaboration with 1/6kit where they're giving actual golden tickets away.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is pretty interesting. So I want to see if I can find that post real quick. Yeah, here it is. So they're giving away tickets essentially where you can get rewards points from 1/6kit, and they're golden tickets, which is pretty interesting, right? So 5 golden tickets are getting $100 worth of reward points with Kit, and 5 are getting $50 if you pre-order with 1/6kit. So Mars Toys and Kit obviously seem pretty close, but nonetheless, I got to ask the question, Kiko, do collectors care about Willy Wonka and an Oompa Loompa? Because like Anthony said, like Wenwu in Suit, is this going to stand out in your collection?
This 100% will stand out on your shelf because this is, depending on your age, the fact that some people are out there saying the Johnny Depp version's the one for me shows your age. 100%. This is the Willy Wonka to me that I grew up. I know someone was talking about the acid trip and all kinds of stuff. Like, it's weird. It's super awkward. And it's a weird movie, but it's part of my childhood and all the weird little Oompa Loompa songs. The Oompa Loompa looks great. Gene Wilder, a incredible classic actor, incredible. So with that being said, the character of the figures struggles a little bit. The Oompa Loompa looks great, but the tailoring, the head sculpt, but you walk in and everyone knows about the golden ticket. Everyone knows about the everlasting gobstopper. Everyone knows about the chocolate river and the golden egg and Daddy, I want a golden goose and things like that. Everyone knows all that. It looks like Michael Cera now that I'm looking at it.
A little bit, it does, yeah.
It's Michael Cera.
The Oompa Loompa or Willy Wonka?
Head sculpt. Oompa Loompa is hot on, but everyone knows Willy Wonka and every chocolatier, Johnny Depp doesn't exist without this version of the film. That's and true. Charlie and the Glass Elevator was the original. I had to read the books growing up as a kid. That's how old I am. But this is cool, man. This is really cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. There was also some talk about them possibly recasting, and I know Kit came out and said definitively no, it is not a recast. It is a brand new head sculpt. So that is good to hear. But I do see. The actor's name is Gene Wilder, right? I do see Gene Wilder in there. I don't know if I see this as like a perfect head sculpt. Mars Toys can be kind of hit or miss depending upon the figure. Like with that Joker, it's like a major hit, and then some of the figures you're just like, like it's there, but not quite, right? But Anthony, I want to ask you, do collectors care about Willy Wonka? Because I'm seeing the chat, people seem to care, but some people don't. So I don't know with you. You're younger than I am. So what do you think about this Willy Wonka and this Oompa Loompa?
Man, I actually think this is a really cool one. I know you mentioned to say if, would this stand out because, it is a more basic figure, but I think the colors on this figure pop, it's a purple coat. It's an orange Oompa Loompa with green hair. Like even the top hat is going to stand out. That golden egg 100% is going to stand out in someone's collection. It's one of those things that, it might have not been alive by the time that this movie came out, but growing up, this was a movie that I watched and over and over and over and over again before I then
seen the Grandpa Joe memes. I mean, Grandpa Joe is a bum that took advantage of his family. I mean, Grandpa Joe is one of the worst dudes ever. He's a villain.
It's insane, but it's definitely something that I knew about this movie before the Johnny Depp version. So to me, this is, it was very exciting to see this. And again, I think this figure is definitely going to pop. It's something that, you could pair up. Is it a 2-pack, or are they doing a single release for both?
I guess so, bro. I gotta look up. Is the
If
PO
it's a
even
single
up
release
yet?
for Oompa Loompas, someone said in the chat, I am army building them.
Yeah, someone
Army building.
Someone said
Army
that you're
building
replacing.
Oompa Loompas.
Someone said Kiko's replacing his clones for the Oompa Loompas or something. He's about to start. But
It's so fucking stupid.
nah, I definitely think this is something that will pop just because of all the colors. I mean, I know it's, he still has the tan pants and it's white pants, but of the colors that are there, you can get some pretty interesting poses. You can get some pretty interesting displays going on with this, especially if you army build. But at the same time, it's also cool what they're doing with the kit promotion. I think it's, if you pre-order, you have a chance to get the golden ticket.
Right.
Man, that brings me back to the excitement that I felt while watching the movie of, oh man, who is gonna get this ticket?
This
Charlie,
is how you do fun promotions for real.
Right.
This is a really clever idea. Yeah.
This is a good one. And I'm glad to see something like this coming from Mars Toys, especially, after all the hype with their Joker. So man, if they can keep this going, I'm really excited to see what they do next. I unfortunately won't be picking this up because my collection goes in a different direction. But if I did have a space for old classic movies, or just movies that I enjoyed while growing up, this would definitely be something I pick up.
Right. Well, hey, I think that's going to be a common sentiment. I mean, I'm seeing the poll. 71% are saying no on this Willy Wonka. Not saying it's not a good figure, but I got to watch the film.
Doesn't end up doing what Michael Scott did with his golden tickets and putting them all in the same order. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, that episode. Yep, and like everyone gets upset. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Yeah. So guys, let us know in the chat below, comments below, what you think about the Mars Toys Willy Wonka. Do you care? Are you going to pick it up? Let us know. I don't see a PO for it yet, so I'm assuming it's going to be dropping sometime soon. That said, really exciting to see. And yeah, that means we're going to move to our next topic. Before we do that, actually, I have a couple super chats that I don't want to forget. Let's see. Rockman Chris. I know we had two. Rockman Chris, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. So sorry for the delay on this one. I never do first batch, not even third batch. I wait for the random guy on Facebook with money trouble, then I strike. Dude, that's an opportunist speaking right there. Collectors, opportunists. That is super smart, though. But here's the thing, guys. I've talked about this with Carlos and others. Buying used figures, I don't always love the process. I don't always feel good about it. What do you guys think? Chris has the right idea. If you're willing, there's a risk too, Chris. You're taking a risk by buying used figures. What do you think, Kiko?
I think half my collection is probably used at this point. So you have to know where you're getting it from. I'm still not a big fan of the hey, message me for Zelle payments and friends and family only. Don't be a dumbass. I mean, PayPal goods and services are the only way to pay for anything. And I think, honestly, you can find some really good deals out there. I think someone else in the comments said that they don't buy first batch. They just wait for someone to have money problems and they take advantage of it on on a Facebook thread. Yeah, that too. I mean, you can do that. Of all my figures out there that I have, the only one that had any issues was a flaking issue on the cape of Red Skull. But, I mean, that was an old, pleathery coat. Take the coat off, fine, whatever. I've never had any issues. I take that back. I had one scratch on the nose of my DX Luke, the DX07, but a little bit of acrylic paint. If you're good with that, fixed, and you're done. Ask to see a bunch of photos. Just say, hey, let me see all this stuff. Timestamp, things like that. You can get some good deals. I don't have an issue with it. Everyone's like, I need sealed, I need brown shipper, I need all that stuff. Factory sealed. What is factory sealed anyway? No one even knows what that is. But even if you get something brand new, and this is something I didn't tell you, Will, you do have the risk, if you're getting it from Hong Kong, of customs inspecting it. Because when I came home to pick up my Carnage figure, I saw the big white tape of inspected by customs. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
And so I'm like, opened it up, and there was a gash down the back of my box. And I'm like, not happy about that. So, I mean, that's a risk you run, and that's part of it too. But overall, just be smart, and you can get some good stuff out there.
Yeah. What do you think, Anthony? Is it smart to buy used? What do you think?
Man, I guess I'm just like Kiko, man. I think the majority of my collection is all used. I feel like I probably count the figures that I bought brand new, like on my hand, maybe like 2 pairs of hands, I guess, right? Because there's not that many. Most of the time when I started collecting, I found out about the Facebook groups like almost immediately, and just went on a whole shopping spree with everyone. Just trying to collect the Infinity War figures, I guess, right, from everyone else. And I didn't have any issues with most of what I bought through Facebook. I stayed away from eBay just because they were doing the charging the tax and shipping, so I just stayed away from that and just went on Facebook. But honestly, I think that you're pretty good, Kiko.
Blurry over
I know. I was changing the formats, honestly.
No, I think you're really good with buying used. Of course, you do have to be very careful. Ask for lots of pictures. Ask for references too. That's something that I do a lot. I'm like, yo, if you sold before, or even if you bought before, give me any references that you guys might have, because I want to feel comfortable no matter what, if I'm a seller or a buyer. But yeah, I feel like with anything that I bought used, I haven't had any glaring issues. I think like 2 figures. I bought like a Mark 43 that was just super loose. Like all the joints were just super loose. And then I bought a Homecoming Spider-Man that had like, I guess like it's like the black tech lines around it. They were like pasted together almost because the elbow was bent or something like that. Now besides that, everything else that I bought was pretty good. I recently just bought a Gamora from a Facebook user. Man, that figure is great. It's like, I can tell that it's like brand new because he hasn't really moved it too much. There's no creases on any of the pleather. It's exciting. I feel really happy. The rooted hair was nice and like combed. Like there was no issues. It basically felt like I got a brand new figure for an incredible price. So I guess it really depends on where you go and who you go to. But good luck to anyone buying used.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we also got another super chat, Rocketman Chris. Thank you so much, Rocketman Chris. He said we need an Oompa Loompa 4-pack separate from this to army build. Dude, could you imagine? Someone out there would do it though. That's a slippery slope, bro. That's a slippery slope because someone out there will definitely army build this Oompa Loompa line. Thank you so much, bro, for the super chat. Appreciate you guys. I think we got time for one more. And we have a couple to choose from here, but I want to choose Venom, right? Venom 2.0 was released. We talked about Carnage. We can't not talk about Venom. And I know Anthony is excited because we got to showcase this Venom from Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. It was funny. I posted a short showcasing my original Venom from the Venom 1 film. And someone commented and they were like, this is Venom from Venom 1. I was like, it is. It is. Yeah. But I showcased it because I just put Venom 2 as a hashtag because I knew more people, it would reach more people, right? And to be fair, it's basically the same figure. I wasn't misleading anyone. It's the same figure, but it's just, it's just Venom from Venom 1. That said, I want to see, guys, if we can make our sales pitch, because if you don't have Venom, then this is a good option to pick up. You could also pick up the first one, probably for pretty cheap for a while. There was a one point where the exclusive version of this Venom, once he sold out, was going for a very, very pretty penny. And then suddenly that changed when they announced the second one. So I want to see if we can make our best sales pitch to people. The people who don't have Venom, is Venom worthwhile adding to your collection? Kiko, I want to bring this up to you. I want to pose this question to you. This is not the Venom that some people want. Doesn't have a spider logo on the chest, but let's make our Venom sales pitch here. For the people that don't have Venom, should they have Venom and why? What do you think?
Well, Will, as you know, I got an exclusive look at that trooper from Fallen Order. I also got an exclusive look at the new Venom as well. And I want to make sure to be able to utilize this because this Venom, and we're talking about this Venom, correct?
The new Venom. Yep. The one you have.
This Venom is different than the other one for a couple of reasons, mainly because you get this incredible Eddie Brock sculpt. Ooh, look at that.
You do.
I mean, that in itself is really, really cool. I mean, I think that looks fantastic. And as you can see, I got a really shitty camera. I hate that. But yeah, look at this. You got this really cool head to go with it. And if you don't like that one, here you go. Boom, magnetic head. Sweet. Now he's smiling. Now it's the Venom,
He's smiling for the camera.
What now?
He's smiling for the camera. He's looking right.
He actually looks straight at the camera, and I can't. So now you have the smiling version that you all know and love from the film. But you may say, "Wait, hold up! Now it doesn't have the spider on the chest." I'm waiting for the Video Game Master Series when Spider-Man 2 comes out 48 years from now. If you want a Venom, get this Venom. This is so cool. Like here, look at the scale once again. here's a stormtrooper next to it. I'm not doing real good here, but you get an idea
good
of
enough.
how
You even
how
got
it
the
is.
knees bent too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my knees are bent, all that stuff. This is a hell of a figure. As I told you 2 years ago, Venom was figure of the year for me when he came out. And now Carnage is in line to be figure of the year again. Ooh. Another special you get with this new one, and instead of, where'd my head go? Instead of not just this, but you also get the other face, you also get a pipe. You get a pipe to recreate that.
You do get a pipe.
Scene. You get a pipe that you can have that pipe dream scene with Carnage. Very cool. And one thing, just like Yelena, to where we got the little headset gear that we didn't know about, we didn't know that we were getting a microphone with this one too. So this is by far the definitive version of Venom at this point. And I think he's pretty damn cool. And thank you, Hot Toys, for getting this to me super quick. And very excited about that. But in all honesty, if you don't have a Venom, you get the Eddie Brock sculpt. That's what it is. That is, right. if you're not getting Carnage, that's the thing. If you have the first Venom, spoiler, this is the first Venom. If you do have that one, you can throw that head on there and get Carnage, and you have two really cool figures. If you don't have any Venom, this is the one to get because you get the head sculpt, and it's fantastic. I am curious about this, is that I don't have version 2 in the hand. When you're holding the when you're holding this one in your hand, he does not feel as there's a difference in feel. Let me put it that way. I don't know the main difference I'm trying to say or
like gooey. Like Venom feels like gooey and kind of rubbery. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they both do, but he feels more rubbery. I'm sorry. He feels more gooey, less rubbery. He feels more rubbery. This one smells a little like heavier plastic. Look at that ass, by the way.
Yeah, hey, people were expecting that.
I don't know.
Diaper.
First batch, baby, it's worth it.
But I think the material is going to hold up on Carnage more than this, because people have said with this one, and maybe you've even talked about this as well, that there's some peeling on the legs.
Yep.
And for the first time ever, I noticed a little, almost like a little bit of a sunburn, down here from where the joints are.
Yep.
There's a little bit of peeling. Not a big deal. Not a big deal to me. But I wonder if on the version 2, if they've improved that texture. Because if it's the same thing as Carnage, that's a huge upgrade. But if you want Venom, this is the best Venom to get, guys. I mean, look at that. It's really cool. At this point, I don't know if you're even going to be getting the video game. I mean, everyone's like, well, we're waiting for Cal Kestis. Who knows if Cal Kestis is coming? Who knows if Venom is coming? People have been saying, give me the Venom with the spider on his chest for 5 years at this point? Who knows? If you want a cool Venom and you liked the show even moderately, this is one to get. There's my sales pitch. Goodbye.
Right. That's pretty awesome sales pitch, bro. And Joker J said we're getting first batch treatment. We are showing you our first batch Venom 2 figure. Absolutely. Well, Anthony, bro, let's make our sales pitch. What do you think, man? Should people pick up this Venom figure if they don't already have the original, or should they go get the original? What do you think?
So I know Kiko showed the other sculpts. Oh, sorry that I hit the mic, but this is the other sculpt if you don't have it.
Yes, forgot about
this.
This
is a really nice figure. Yeah, I got 2 blades on this guy. Again, it only comes.
You may go back and put that pose. I like that so much.
Yeah, it only comes with one. But if you do want to go on eBay or Toy Anxiety, pick up yourself an extra
I got the Venom 2 figure, Anthony, right here.
Dude, the Venom 2 figure is fire.
Look at all of us. Let's all having these Venoms.
Look at this. All you do, give him a slight little. Wants to focus on me instead of Venom, but give him a slight little head tilt.
Right.
Anyway,
exactly.
So I'm going back to you, Anthony. Sorry.
Dude, no, for sure. Like, this figure is definitely something that, look at this. This looks insane.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely a figure that has a lot of presence. I have it.
I want
right
a second
here
axe now.
in my
jealous.
Display. Dude, no, you have to get the second axe. This is definitely one of those that I don't know. I got a second axe and a second symbiote reaching hand, so he can do it on both hands. But I definitely recommend this figure, man. It is imposing. It is pretty much what you would want from a 1/6 scale version of Venom, especially with all the other ones that we have. That was I think it was a Metacrom Spider-Man 3 1/6 scale Venom that came out a few years ago. That one's not, that good. And I just really recommend this one, dude. It's an imposing figure, and the version 2 comes with that half Eddie Brock sculpt that Kiko showed. Man, I need to pick up the deluxe Carnage so that I can have that. But again, for anyone that doesn't have this figure, I'm telling you, and if you're a Venom fan, I would suggest you get it. I know it doesn't have the spider logo, but I don't want to be waiting 3+ years for to get that. Right now,
And who's to
a
know?
video
Say
game.
like the video game version won't look cartoony or stylized. I mean,
Right,
this is
right.
very normal.
Watch it not
and-
even have the spider
Exactly.
logo.
Watch,
Watch it
I
not
would
even
love
have.
that, or it looks silly.
Dude, watch Hot
Nick
Toys not
asked-
even make it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be
'cause
surprised.
Who knows?
But
Nick asked, he said, does the head scale regular with figureheads? Like, is the head huge or is it properly sized? The Venom head is big, but if you look at the normal head sculpt, it is a normal sized head inside there, if that makes any sense.
right.
So the goo around him makes his head bigger, but this is an actual head. So it is a normal sized head, if that's what you're asking.
So it's scaled properly. Yeah.
It does scale properly, but the goo around his head makes it bigger because he's a bigger person.
Yeah. Well, guys, you made some really good sales pitches. If I didn't already have a Venom, I'd be considering picking up a Venom right now. And one of the things I would say, and I've said this before in other live streams since I've pretty much started doing this, I was one of the biggest critics of that Venom originally before it released. I even said like some harsh language, like maybe it looks a little Hasbro-ish with some of the joints. Getting the figure in hand, I was absolutely wrong about this Venom. This Venom is one of the best figures I personally have in my collection. It's one of the best figures I had that year when it came out. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's great. The joints are so hidden when you just pose them the right way. It blends in with the body. The only one is the feet. The feet are the only one maybe that kind of like Ryu, right? It just blends in a little bit, but that's maybe the one I saw. But other than that, the head sculpt is great. I like the teeth head sculpt on mine. The tongue is great, but the teeth head sculpt to me, it just has so much life and personality to it. I love that Carnage has 3 tongues, whereas Venom only has 1. I mean, I wish Venom had more tongues and more options, but this one you do get a pipe. You get a pipe and you get another head sculpt. So can't beat that. So I'm happy that other people are going to get an option to Venom because I think these two are going to go so well together. What are your thoughts on the movie aside? Like, I know normally you want the movie to be good to get the figures, but these guys are so good.
They're
man.
fucking symbiotes, man.
Wait,
They're so cool.
Wait, and I know Kiko mentioned the microphone. Does he actually come with a mic?
Supposedly.
Apparently,
Yeah.
What?
from the
Wait,
raver.
what? That's
Yeah,
insane.
supposedly.
does the mic
Yeah, from that
drop,
rate.
yeah.
And he comes with the pipe, most importantly. But,
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah.
Damn,
and
that's
there's the blade.
incredible.
Yeah.
I want the new version now. I want
Yeah,
a mic.
see? Dude, look at that. That's the pose right there. That's cool, man. That's so cool. You can do so much with this guy. Yeah. Well, he's a symbiote. That's what he is.
Yeah. Wait,
So-
is that a new hand attachment? Actually,
It is. That is.
It
It
is.
I forgot that in my sales pitch. Mine was sitting in the
Oh my
other room.
God.
Yours is boxed up.
dude. I did not
Yeah.
see that before.
Left
Was
it
that
back.
advertised in the prototype pictures or?
I'm not sure, honestly. Yeah,
That
maybe
and the
the
mic were new things.
yeah.
Damn.
Hey,
I
Hot
might
Toys
have
is giving
to
us
pick
more
those
than
up.
we bargained for at this point.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let us know in the comments below whether you're considering picking up a Venom. I just wanted to approach that segment a little bit differently and see if we could do that. Again, don't buy
That's
into
fun.
FOMO, but if you're interested in a Venom, consider it. So I just wanted to approach it a little bit differently. That said, guys, we are going to wrap the show there. It is 7:00 on the dot. Mr. Kiko Collects. Is there anything fun coming up on YouTube, Instagram? Because I know you've been popping off some major hot fire on the Insta.
We've got a lot going on the IG, and that's where I've been spending a lot of time having fun with everybody there. The Ultron reel is now at 130,000
Hey,
views.
let's go.
130,000. That's crazy to me, and still going. We dropped a real review of Carnage, so feel free to check that out. Oh, there we go. Got some photos up there of Carnage, but so we did that. We did the fun little video of me dropping the head. So lots of good stuff going there. You'll be able to check out Inart Joker coming up on there as well, followed by Yelena. So make sure to get yourself together because I will show you just how good the Yelena is going to be. And I'm ready for you next week on this show to apologize, Will. For you saying, you know what?
I know.
I think that's Florence. I think that's Florence.
I think I fucked up.
Kiko, I'll
Before you know
DM
it,
you.
you're going to be getting it from Tim Cent. So
Yeah, I
here we
know.
go.
It'd be on tips and order.
Kiko, I'm gonna DM you my apology next week.
Yeah, right.
I want to see it. I want to.
Yeah, it'll be hand signed. Yep. Absolutely. Well, thanks as always for joining Kiko. Guys, check out Kiko, especially on Instagram, bro. Like Kiko's dropping some major hot
I
fire
also
over
have
there.
an YouTube.
Damn.
I meant to put out a video, didn't get around to it because I'm still having so much fun on the IG. But I am on YouTube too. Check that out. Lots of good stuff.
Dude, this photo is awesome, man. This photo is absolutely awesome. Love it.
I need this figure.
Dude, that's how I felt, Anthony. I was like, I'm just going to
Yeah.
get it. Well, because Sideshow shipped a first batch, but then at the same time, like, still have it on pre-order, and they haven't shipped more than that. So I was like, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to get it from Tim Set. So that's what I did, because I really want this car. I felt like I needed it quickly. Yeah. Not everyone, I don't always, say everyone to do that, but.
I think I still might wait to see if it drops a little bit. Fingers crossed, but
and I
it's
think
not,
it will. It's just a matter of patience here because I think this will probably drop because I think a lot of people see and they marvel at how good this is, but it's just the space and the money of what it costs, and that's I think the problem. So it's not that it's not amazing. I think it might be figure of the year so far. I think
100%.
from what I've seen. So yeah, and I love my Shang-Chi, I love my Wenwu, but as far as this figure goes, I'm excited to get it. It's just so unique, So anyway, thank you so much, Kiko, for joining us always, bro. And Mr. Anthony Javier, bro, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about? I appreciate you joining, man. I know it's been a fun second ride.
Dude, oh my God, no, thank you for having me. It was great being on here last time with you and Carlos, and incredible being on here with you and Kiko. So no, thanks for having me. I guess the only thing I could plug really is a place for collecting. I'm a moderator there, admin. We're just trying to make sure that the group stays, toxic free. We're trying to make sure that it's a safe place for collectors to discuss and post anything that they want. Again, Riley's been really good with leading the pack, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. So I got tired of all those toxic Facebook groups, so it's nice to have a nice breath of fresh air where I could just post anything I want and don't have to worry about any comments like that. But yeah, again, it's really nice hanging out over there. So if you guys want to stop by, you're more than welcome to. Just I guess request, and I'll probably be approving you. So yeah, sounds good. That's it for me though. And again, thank you so much for having me, Will. And a pleasure streaming with you, Kiko, as well. So thank you.
Well, we got good feedback already. So there you go, Joker J.
Joker J. Thank you.
There we go. See? He is a great addition, bro. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, he is.
Hell of an insurance man.
Absolutely. He sells the best insurance, best prices. First batch. First batch
prices on insurance.
Yeah, first batch. So, guys, thank you so much for joining on this fine evening. I want to share something real quick, something exciting that is coming up this weekend. I just got to find the photo for it. So, there's a couple things here, right? There is the avatars. Look at Dean, bro. Look at Dean back there. Also, in Zach.
Mean mugging.
I know, right?
Yeah, so Dean looks mean, bro.
Dean does look mean, and he's so nice, bro. He's not actually this mean. Kiko, I feel like they sized you down a little bit. You don't look quite as much of a unit this time.
Yeah, and that's not at the correct shirt either because Kiko's has shipped at this point. So wait to see my new shirt. So
right. So it's going to be pretty exciting. So guys,
you got to make everyone look the same. It's all good.
It is a show this Sunday, 8 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So it's going to be 1/6 scale wrestling. It's themed on the Elimination Chamber, actually. So from what I'm told, it's 3 epic matchups. So it's actually a triple threat tag team, and it's me and Kiko versus Collecting Weekly versus the Wonder Twins. So Nick's Instagram has more info. It's I believe the tag Nick's Collectibles. Yeah, Nick's Collectibles. That's where you want to be. So yeah, it's going to be this Sunday.
I can hear Riley's picture.
Yeah, look at Riley, bro. Riley's jacket, of course, man. That's amazing.
the Clone Wars jacket.
So Anthony, is that you with Riley? No, that's KG.
No, yeah, I think that's KG.
I was like, because I forgot about the Wonder Twins thing for a second. Let's examine this because I mean,
it does say KG Collector right there on his shirt. He has his logo on there.
Yeah, okay. Because I can't. Oh, there we go. Now we can move around. Yeah, there we go. KG is the only one who doesn't look like himself. Like he needs
that Timothy likeness.
Yeah, I know that likeness is too expensive. Kiko and I look a little tan, but other than that, it's.
All you guys look great. This is great.
Yeah, I'm a little pastier than that.
I was in the last one apparently, and I was wearing my my insurance sales outfit.
Dude, by the way, man, that Carlos getting drop kicked out of the ring, I was fucking dead. Like I was like he came in immediately. They were like, "What?" And Carlos gets kicked out. It was the best thing ever. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. It was a fun live stream. Lots of other content on this channel. I'll be doing other videos. I'll post the clips for you guys over the next day or two. And walk and talks, collection reactions, other content that I'm working on. So lots of cool stuff in the works, I promise. And have a good rest of your weekend and Friday evening. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for the generosity from Carlos and Rocket Man Chris and everyone else who gave the super chats, Riley, and everyone who joined the membership. That's pretty great. So I appreciate you all. And have a good weekend. Peace out. Bye. Get Carnage. Bye.